It's the intergalactic soul, the honorable brother, the revolutionary yourself, Darius Lockhart, and I'm here to tell you to watch Power Bombshells every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern on the Fight Game Media YouTube channel. That's right, every Sunday at 1 p.m., and that's on time, every time, because when we stand together, what time is it? That's right, it's nation time.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 180 of Power Bombshells. I am Sam, and that is not Mel. Mel is on assignment. Actually, she had something come up, and so thankfully Collins was able to come join us today and to be an honorary broad, and I'm so excited because we've been trying to find a way for Collins to be here on the show, and it worked out. Unfortunately, Mel is sad because she does not get to officially meet Collins, but I'm sure we'll make it happen. So welcome to the Power Bombshells, Collins.
Hello. And guess what shirt I'm wearing? I didn't even show you. And you can get one. You can get one just like me in other colors.
Yes.
And it's like $20.
Yes.
So up to you if you want to look as cool.
What do you think of it? How is the comfort? Is it you think it's comfortable? All that good stuff?
I mean, as t-shirts, it's not too thick, but it's not also too thin. It came pretty fast, so I was a little shocked. But the colors are very vibrant. I mean, I really love this color of pink. So yeah, I felt like matching my lighting to the colors, and
perfect.
We're just gonna zoom on,
Great. And and I wore, because Nikki said that, she's like, I wonder if Collins is gonna wear their Power Bombshell shirt. And I was like, because I went to Ashe last night, so I wore mine to Ashe because gotta be that person. The rest of promoting their own podcast. So I was like, of course, but I'm actually wearing I don't think you can see it, but I'm wearing a Panther shirt today because this might be the one day of the year we can be excited because it's opening day and the Panthers has not been good for a while. And we're paying Tony Khan's team, so in Jacksonville. So it's like, oh no, well,
Mazel tov.
Like, good luck with that. Also, and then I was like, oh, they're right next to Daly's place. I've been there a couple of times for some wrestling shows.
Oh my gosh. I wish that I've that's like a bucket list kind of thing because I live 3,000 plus miles away.
Right. Yeah, I guess I won't complain so much about 7 hours. And we did well when we went. Luckily, we have a friend who is in Greenville or Spartanburg, South Carolina. So we stayed with them overnight and then drove like the 5 hours to Jacksonville from there. But then the day we came back, though, we did the whole 7 hours in one day, and that was a journey. We rented a car, and Nikki and I. It was me and Nikki and our friend Doug, who has been on the show before. We all went, and I did media. Well, the first time we went, actually, I'll take that back. So the first time we went for Fight for the Fallen, and it was on Nikki's birthday. And it was me and Nikki and our friend Kiefer, and we drove down. And then the second time I went so that I could because I got, I just put in for media just to see what would happen, and then they approved it, and I was like, I gotta figure out and get a hotel room on a holiday weekend in like 4 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, and it was the first pay-per-view post-COVID. No, wait, yeah, I think it was the first. Yeah, wasn't it the first one post-COVID? Nikki's in the chat, I'm sure she can remind me. But yeah, it was the Double or Nothing that was at Daly's place.
Oh my gosh,
it was last. It was hot, obviously. And then they put us in to do the post-match stuff, to do the scrum afterwards. We went to where the Jacks practice, and the fans were on like gigantic industrial fans. Like you couldn't hear anything. We were like standing. Tony, there's like a little platform where they bring like different. They brought out like Britt Baker. He was like, I want to say Jack Perry, and a couple other people. And then Tony came out, and we're all just like in this little huddle, like shouting at each other. It was a terrible idea. Yeah, Tony Khan, what are you doing with the women's division?
Honestly, I feel like doing that to him quite often.
Yes.
So
Lord, yes. Often, so Collins, and I've been on Collins hosts on a ramble, which is kind of on hiatus, which did make a brief comeback following Supercard, but that's Collins has, and well, Collins I think agrees with me half the time when we talk about what are we doing here. That's kind of where that formed, and it brought it over here to this show. What are we doing here?
Hence the hiatus, because it was just all right, same watch, repeat, same episode. Cool. Awesome.
Right. Yeah.
Great.
There's a lot of that going on. And so I completely understood when you guys went on hiatus, because I haven't really been writing about it that much because there's nothing to write about. I wrote about Friday, I wrote about how, and we'll talk about Athena in a bit, but I was writing about Athena, and that's the first thing I've written in a while about ROH, because there's nothing to write about. It's like, and it's not the talent's fault.
Right.
They're great.
They're showing up. They're ready to get their reps in.
Yeah, right. They're doing their jobs.
Can we get invigorating storylines back on Ring of Honor television?
Please. And then, Nikki said, oh yeah, so because I was with media and I couldn't sit with my sister and my friend. I was there. It was funny where I ended up sitting and where they were, because they got moved. Because in Double or Nothing, they have those big like casino chips that are props, and like, so that where my sister and Doug were supposed to be, because he is in a wheelchair, so obviously he only has certain places he can sit. They had props where their seats were supposed to go. So they got moved down to the opposite end, but it ended up being like where I could see them from where I was sitting, and like they would turn around and wave. But Nikki was talking about how Mox and Eddie Kingston walked past her and Doug, and she said Mox kicked the shit out of the door before coming through it at Double or Nothing. And then she said just like kicked the door open, and there he is, and he walked really close by. Oh, it was the slot machines. That's right. But yeah, put the props in the way. And had to move people that needed to be in wheelchair accessible places had to get moved somewhere else because they had to put the props up. Of course. And we actually had Doug on the show to talk about like going to wrestling shows as a fan who uses a wheelchair, and he's talking about how like in certain cases like he would have to like pull himself up like on his armrest to kind of see, because people were standing, and it was just. I mean, the venue is great, but it could definitely, wrestling shows could be a bit more wheelchair friendly for sure.
Yeah,
like as most places should be. But yeah,
I have a couple friends who have shared their experience about going to concerts that way,
right.
Because they are where they have designated some of these wheelchair accessible spots. If people are standing,
right.
Your view is limited, and then their solution is, well, we'll put you on the floor. Well,
right. Same issue.
The
same issue in a different location.
Right. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, luckily, like at our indie shows, Doug is able to get like he just has a chair. He's like front rows. He buys front row seats. They just put him front row center, and he can see everything, and he can interact and. At least our local indies have been really great about that. But yeah, it's a struggle doing that. They should do better about it. Y'all, that is right. Eddie was wearing the Young Bucks shoes around his neck, so he was doing it before Bronson Reed did it. Okay.
Yeah.
Eddie is a trailblazer, is what we're saying. And
that man.
It sounds like he could be really close to coming back, because. I don't know if you watched Collision last night.
I watched Collision last night.
I watched it when we got back from Ashe. And of all people, Big Bill called out.
He's ready to get his redwood chopped, is what it is.
I was like, I have no problem with Big Bill. I think I'm really happy with the way he's come along, and he's done a lot of work on himself, and he's doing really great, and the fans seem to really enjoy him, and I enjoy him. But I was like, this is how we're going to bring back Eddie Kingston? Like, he's been gone this long. We're not going to have him. Like, I mean, I guess he still could come, because I just thought, like, he was going to come, and he was going to come for Gabe Kidd, because Gabe Kidd's the one who injured him. And then we would, like, start a feud. But
Right.
I was like, so is he going to just, like, come back for that and then, like, pivot to Big Bill? Or is he coming back specifically for Big Bill? Like, I heard you call me out. I'm here. Now what? Like,
I mean,
again, kind of like, what are we doing here?
yeah, what are we doing here? Why is this it? Because the thing about Big Bill and Brian Keith is that they've kind of really separated themselves from Chris Jericho, right?
Right.
And now we don't think of them as automatically associated with Chris Jericho, which is fantastic. But they would not let Eddie Kingston's return be in a loss.
Right. Right.
So what are we doing here?
Right.
Are we setting up for like a 10-second match where
Eddie's gonna
All Out?
Big Bill?
Yeah, all of a sudden
Right.
Eddie's music hits and he just comes back and he chops him. And
Right.
1, 2, 3. What are we doing?
Right. I don't know. And so Brad has a theory. He says Eddie beating Big Bill, then walking out with Brian Keith to be his protege. Also, since Eddie was Brian's match when he was announced as All Elite would be awesome. Brad, are you booking this show? Because I don't know that I want Tony booking this, because I don't know where we're going here. I mean, maybe Brad's onto something. Like, I would not hate, like, Eddie versus Big Bill just in general, but, like, this is how we're getting Eddie to come back. Like, he's coming back to, this is how we're just going to lure him in. We're just going to lure him in with Big Bill.
All I knew was what it took to bring back Eddie Kingston was to say his name on TV.
Right.
I would have gone backstage, said, "Give me that camera." Eddie Kingston, you come back here right now.
Who knew that's all it took?
Right? But did you see his Instagram post?
Eddie, I haven't. Is a recent one, or the last thing I really saw was the where he teased not all in it, Forbidden Door, and then of course he wasn't at Forbidden Door, but has he posted since then?
So let's see, is it still in his story? Here, I'm going to take a screenshot before it goes away so I can show you.
Yeah, I didn't watch his story. I usually do watch his stories. It's usually rap videos, but
so is South Park, and he's got some Halo Top ice cream. He's got some that gum or whatever that helps you quit smoking. But I mean, look at that. Oops, sorry.
And this was posted after the Big Bill call
16 hours ago. So
yes. So pretty okay. Somebody is watching the product while he's sitting at home. Yeah. So Eddie, I mean, I did say that I thought, but back when the Philly the 2300 Arena residency started, I said that Hook would come back there, and I thought that Eddie might come back there because it's kind of adjacent to where he lives. I'm sure the people of the 2300 Arena would probably love them at Eddie Kingston, even if he is a New Yorker. I was like, that might be, I figured he would come. We've got a few shows left, so now that Big Bill has issued the top, like, I would feel he'd come back there before coming back in Toronto, and or unless he just ignores him for 2 weeks and just shows up in Toronto. I feel like he'll come and fill it at some point. Maybe he'll just jump Big Bill from behind or something, or he'll just come on. He'll come find Renee and be like, "Who is this person calling me out? Who do they think they are?" What is he doing?
Big Bill? I don't know. Or like when he was in Ring of Honor and he was filming promos in what looked like a closet.
Yes.
Every time I was like, "Oh, promo from Eddie Kingston." He's in a fucking closet.
Yeah.
Like, is this what's happening?
What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Why are we putting Eddie Kingston in the closet to do a promo? What is this? Hey, we need you. You don't actually have to be on Honor Club because that's not a thing. A champion, unless your name is Athena, you don't have to be on Honor Club as a champion. You can just MJF never came to ROH when he was tag team champion, which is a whole. I've had lots to say about that, but yeah. So apparently, just film in a closet. It's fine. You don't have to actually be on the shows.
Yeah.
People, there's only 12 people that watch Honor Club anyway. You don't need to come. You don't need to come down there for that.
You know what? How many people are like, oh, I love ROH. I love their pay-per-views. And it's more than just the pay-per-views.
Right.
But I feel like the pay-per-views are where the shine happens, right?
Yeah.
It's where
they
put on
always
their
show out.
performance.
Yeah.
They always show out. And then people watch Honor Club expecting a mini pay-per-view.
Sorry to tell you that we don't do that here. We get what we got last Thursday, which is a bunch of random matches and a match with Athena in action for a match that was filmed who knows when. I don't even know what video that was. Who knows when that match was even filmed. And they didn't even give her an entrance when they filmed this. Like, the show started, we get the normal ROH like entrance and running down the card, and it was like Athena in action on day 99, and then they go right into her match. No entrance for the champion of 999 days. Go right into a 2-minute squash match for her to, it was a proving ground match for her to get her 70th win, so that she'd go into day 1000 with 70 wins. That is on brand for ROH television. Like, if you're watching this incredible Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view and then coming and that's the ROH you got, that's pretty much the ROH you're going to get. I mean, sometimes there's a little bit more story. Now we've got, I was like, the tournament started. Like, when are we going to get tournament matches? Like, we didn't even get a tournament match last week. We
don't need a tournament. We just do it on pay-per-views or on AEW TV, right?
Right. Well, and that's we'll get to it. I don't want to go. I want to talk about Athena, but I was like, I mean, I guess we don't need to go in order. We can just talk about it when we talk. Well, you know what? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So Athena, right? So I told Collins this yesterday. I was like, I feel this is like the perfect timing for you to be on this show is after Athena breaks her 1,000-day milestone, because Collins had an ROH podcast. This is what we've talked about for 1,000 days. Shout out to Athena, the greatest. We love her. Congratulations, Queen. You deserve it.
Yes.
I think we're at 1,002 days. The actual 3-year mark will be on December the 10th. I looked it up to see when the actual 3-year anniversary was, because it was that final battle when she beat Mercedes Martinez. Who, shout out to Mercedes Martinez. I wish ROH would book you. Apparently, she is still under contract because she's still on the roster page. I saw her the other day. I was looking for something, and I was like, hey, Mercedes is still here. Do you think that fans will be confused by 2 Mercedes M's? They're like, we only have, I was like, we can tell the difference between Mercedes Moné and Mercedes Martinez. Like, it's fine.
Wasn't it the AEW Twitter page that accidentally added the wrong Mercedes or whatever on her birthday?
Yes. Yeah. Sure did. They sure did. But, on brand for ROH. So, so
when I run social media accounts for people, you have your social media accounts, and then you also have like an Excel spreadsheet with everybody's name and all their social media handles.
Right.
My feeling is they go, oh no, we got to post this at Mercedes, click, and then
and then it stayed up for hours, if I remember correctly. Like, I guess the social media person is, I guess only like one person can get into the account. And it was that person, and they had to wait till he was available. And we're like, we need you to fix this because you tagged the wrong one.
It just means that they're not double checking. They're not looking. They're not even like,
They're not paying attention to what
putting
they're
it
doing.
through a vetting process. Like, hey, is it okay to post this?
No.
No, not at all.
So Athena, back to
Yes.
her. So Friday, and I've talked about this many times in this podcast, even last week when you were listening. I talked about Athena, and now what happens that you've made it 1,000 days. How do you handle her eventually not having that title? Seems to be a few options. One that they're floating is that Mercedes Moné says that's the one. Somebody asked after in the scrum, somebody asked Athena, "Are you afraid to face 9 belts, Moné?" And she's like, "No, I made some mistakes. I know what I did wrong. I'm not going to do that again. I won't be nice. I will do what I need to do to retain my title." Next day, Mercedes quote tweets it, "That's the title I really want." So they're hinting at Mercedes potentially taking that title for belt number 10. So we have that option. We have the option of somebody actually defeating her, whether that's Billy Starks or someone else. Or option 3, which is the worst option, in my opinion, is vacating the title and just, nobody can beat me. I'm too good. I'm going to the main round. I'm going to AEW full time. Figure out the division by yourself. I'm out. So of those options, or maybe there's a 4th option that I don't know about. What do you think? What do you think Athena should do? How should they handle Athena's losing this title eventually, or not having the title anymore, I should say?
It's difficult because I feel like there wasn't a roadmap. It's just been, oh, you hit 2 years. Congratulations. Billy couldn't do it. We built up the story with Billy twice. She couldn't do it. Okay. So we build up this road to All In, right? You win it All In. Okay, we got some summertime fun. Let's get you in these matches. You'll face Toni Storm. And then she falls short to Toni Storm in a way that I do not like, because that was my big critique, was why did MJF not have to sign away his contract, but Athena had to?
Right.
And I don't like how she lost in this match. Because it is really saying, yeah, Athena hit 1,000 days, surpassed our hero Samoa Joe as the longest reigning ROH champion of all time. They even mentioned it on commentary last night. And Nigel gave some sort of like brush off answer. And it's like, this is the longest reign of like ROH, AEW. Like the only longer reign I would think is Roman, but I don't watch WWE products.
It is Roman. And then technically, I think if you do like the combined like days, it's the Briscoes like combined, like all their titles combined, which obviously they won the titles 13 times. So like that's like the next. I think that's technically the next milestone.
Right.
Is that. And I don't know if they're going to do that to Mark Briscoe.
But yeah, it was like Nigel made a comment of like, it's not how many days, but how many times you get the title. And I thought, that's not fair. That's not fair to say.
So is that also, do you also say that to Lee Moriarty, who broke your record? Lee Moriarty broke your record like 2 months ago to become the longest reigning ROH Pure Champion. So are you you are therefore taking a shot at Lee Moriarty as well, which is insane.
Which would be insane because Lee Moriarty has defeated you in one of my favorite Pure title matches. So all in all, it's going, okay, we are starting to cheapen it. If they don't capitalize on building up someone either quickly in ROH or finally having Billy have a come to Jesus, finally defeating her. If you have this giant reign and you don't capitalize it on pushing someone else, what the F was the 3 years? Point? Right. Yeah. What's the point? What's the reason? Is Cardi B.
Right.
What was the reason? That's how I feel.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you, and that's the article that I wrote was basically the conversation we've had here multiple times. It's like she cannot vacate this title. Like,
correct.
It should not even be on the table. Would I be surprised? No, because they did it with Samoa Joe. And I also, and I know that Athena probably doesn't have any say on whether she vacates it or not, but like, that's what, when she was Ember Moon in NXT, that's what happened to her. Asuka held that title for 500 days. She couldn't beat it. Asuka gets called to the main roster, vacates the title, and that's it. Like, I don't think that Athena would want to do that to another woman, and maybe she has no say. Maybe she can't say, you know what, I don't want to do that because it happened to me. But they have not done a good job building up this division at all. The division just exists, and then Athena's at the head of it, and then there's no credible challenge for her that they've built. Like, because like I had a theory, it's like, okay, well, maybe that's why Billy's on TV with Athena, so people, AEW fans know her, so that if Billy does defeat Athena, they're like, oh, I've seen her wrestle a few times, she's good. Okay, it makes sense, I know who that is. But right now there is no storyline forward to make that happen, because they're getting along. There's not the tension of the Minion Overlord and the Minion who is there, where she's getting jealous, or she's tired, not jealous, but she's getting tired of Mercedes, Athena telling her what to do and dismissing her, and Lexi is her focus. She wants to do things, hang out with Lexi. Like, there's none of that tension. There's no storyline at this moment that makes it that it would make sense for it to be Billy, other than Billy has has lost to her twice, or challenged her twice and lost both times. She finally gets her big comeback and finally defeats her mentor. But like, right now that wouldn't make any sense, because there's no story with that. And so I know, like, Shuri should be cleared soon, and that's Athena's dream match. So you have her lose her dream match and have Shuri, which you could. Shuri's a big deal. And she's supposed to be, Tony has said she'd be ROH and AEW. So, could they have her lose? But that's the other thing. Like, if Athena is dropping it to another wrestler, when do you do it? Because do you have her hold the title till Final Battle? I mean, I guess depending on when Final Battle is, you have Athena get to her 3 years, and you technically it's September. You've got some time to build up a story if you actually go back and put in the effort, which drives me insane. Like, Tony put all this effort with Athena, Billy, and Lexi to tell this story, and then just kind of like forgot and just stopped.
Right.
And there's nothing happening. Like, Athena is the one keeping the story going. But she's like, and so you have to, I guess, if they waited till December, but if they didn't, because they don't, they like to do ROH title matches on AEW television. Where would you do that? Like, there's not a Battle of the Belts anymore. Do you do it on? There's not a Grand Slam USA this year that they've announced. So do you do it at like AEW Homecoming and Daly's place? Like, at winter, if you're waiting till winter is coming, at this point you might as well wait till Final Battle, because Final Battle is in December. So like, where do you even do it? Do you just do it on a random Saturday night and have a 3-year or nearly 3-year title reign end? Like, or do you put it on? They've already, like, do you do it at Wrestle Dream? Where do you do this if you're not going to do it at
having it short of Final Battle? I think at this point is like that would suck. But again, they need to put in the work to build somebody else up.
Yep.
Because right now the only viable option, while every woman is focused on the pure tournament,
right.
is Billy. But we got Billy in the tournament.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, they keep because like my other than Billy, like, I was like, if it's not Billy, I would like it to be I would like it to be either Queen Aminata or Trish Adora. But both of them are in this pure championship, even though they've made it pretty obvious that Trish Adora is not going to make it past the first round.
Oh, my biggest pet peeve.
Why is Trish Adora getting kicked out in the first round?
I mean, and if Deonna Purrazzo is not, because I have a feeling that our final for the Pure tournament is going to be Queen Amanada versus Serena Deeb. I think that's how we've been shaping everything.
That's the story we've been telling since February.
Right, since February. So, like, can we actually, like, get on with this? So,
Right.
if that leaves Deonna Purrazzo open,
Mm-hmm.
would they take the chance after what we heard, especially with how Deonna did not perform as well with the CMLL folks? Would they take that chance and go, okay, Deonna, for your hard work lately, we'll give you the ROH title, the title she's already gotten before,
right? Which they made sure to point that out during her promo when she talked after she dismissed Trish and looked past her. She's like, "You should thank me because I was the champion. This division exists because of me. You should thank me every time you see me." I was like, "Oh, that's interesting that they're pointing that out." So perhaps, yeah, because Deonna is somebody that I had wondered, would that be, and maybe to kind of redeem herself in Tony's eyes, and maybe CMLL for that matter, is to put her on ROH and have her hold that title in a place where, because like Deonna is a threat. Like Deonna is a multi-time champion. She did basically everything that you could do in TNA. She did. She's held tight. Like she can hold titles. She would not be a bad option. And perhaps, like, Brad makes the point that Queen feels above ROH at this point, but Deonna doesn't. So perhaps Deonna is a good answer because Deonna is a credible. I think she could be a legitimate threat to Athena because of her championship background. And if they're trying to rebuild her after what happened nearly a year ago, that was in December that this happened. They've sent her, she's been taking some indie dates. She's continuing to improve herself. She seems to understand, she's taken accountability for her part of what happened. So do they trust her enough to give her a title? That's the question, is do they trust her enough? And then, because even before Red Velvet won the ROH TV title, I had proposed a theory of like, what if they do the Vendetta and have Deonna hold the women's title and have Taya hold the TV title?
The fact that they are also sitting on Taya Valkyrie.
Right. Insane. I mean, and don't get me wrong, she's great with MXM and Johnny. Like she's perfect. But you could belt her and still have her with MXM. Like you could still do it.
And I think she also still connects with the Mexican fan base because of her time in AAA. But yeah, it is crazy to me that they are sitting on all this talent with no roadmap in sight. So if Queen Amanada is above Ring of Honor or
they're moving her into something else. I feel like if she's winning a title, it's the Pure title because of the whole story with Serena Deeb that they started telling on Collision. But then Queen Amanada got injured, and then she came back, and then they really didn't do it. Then they didn't do anything with her for a little bit, and then we haven't seen Serena, I don't think, not even in ROH. And I know she's obviously had some health issues too, so I don't know if they were just kind of trying to give her some, just make sure she's healthy or what, but she's not been doing anything either. And it was like you said, we have all this talent and there's no roadmap for them. So that's another reason, I feel like a vacated title win cheapens a victory for the next champion, because that's saying you aren't good enough to beat the woman who held this for 1,000 days. None of you are good enough to defeat her. But here's your consolation prize by winning a 4-way vacant, a 4-way tournament or match or whatever they're gonna do. I just feel like I feel like that's not if you are the woman to beat Athena, who has never lost a singles match in ROH, that sets you up for success. I mean, obviously Tony has to do the rest where he books you after that. But
Yeah.
like telling that if you come in and say, I beat that woman that no one else could beat, and I have the chance to now this is my title. I set the tone for this title. I set the tone for this division. Like, I feel like you can't do that as well with a winner of a vacated title. And I feel like that harms the next champion by having them be, I really hope that's not the direction they take, but the way Tony books things.
It's also to say there are other women here. Diamante, been injured.
Right.
Kiera Hogan, been injured.
And she was filming a reality show.
Correct.
Good for her.
Vina Van, I know, has signed.
She has signed, and she has 6 titles outside of ROH. Like, Mercedes has already been like, hey, girl.
Yeah, right?
Nice 6 titles you have.
Right. We also have, like, Rachel Ellering is still hanging around.
Yeah.
Lady Frost. Like, these are all people who have signed deals.
Incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get them in there. Let's get them built
it's not like
up.
They don't have the talent. They just don't. They're not booking them. But the talent is there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we've also mentioned Mercedes Martinez, which is
Bring her back. Wouldn't that be something? Her after 3 years, she's the one who defeats Athena.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that the last we saw her was in the television championship tournament.
I think so. And then they haven't booked her again. And which is insane because Mercedes is so freaking talented. And she's been doing stuff on the indies. She's been over in she was doing stuff. She was telling stories over there with Viperous and Dark Sheik. I think that's where they did that big storyline with them. Like, Mercedes, what are we doing? Mercedes Martinez is incredible. Like, I don't get it. But I mean, you can't book Trish Adora right either. So, Trish Adora is incredible. And that goes back to Collins is also with me on Collins also shares the Shane Taylor promotions agenda with me. So does Kyle Sparks, her lovely co-host. Yes, last night at Ashe, somebody was in the ring and they said, "Who's the baddest?" And I told Nikki, Shane Taylor.
Oh my gosh,
he's the baddest. I'm so excited that they have the trios title. Lee Moriarty has the pure champion. He's incredible. I need my girl Trish needs a belt.
She does.
You got
she
3
needs
of them.
Come on.
You got 3, please.
Shane Taylor,
a belt for her.
Shane Taylor is the only person I've ever seen pull off sweatpants and a blazer.
If anybody can do it, it's Shane Taylor.
Right.
Shane Taylor is the baddest.
I love it.
I love him so much. He's the greatest.
Yeah, let's get our girl Trish Adora in there. Play heel, put that Lariat Tubman on, and let's go.
Please. How could you not belt somebody whose finisher is called the Lariat Tubman? Like, come on.
Oh, right.
And let's not forget, before she was in ROH, she was the Pan-African World Diaspora Champion for over 1,000 days. More than Athena has been. That title should D beat her for that title, and he held it for 650 something days, and then he lost it to Khan at Ashe, the last show. So now Khan has that title now.
He is a beautiful man.
He is. He wrestled last night against Isaiah Broner in a really great match. I can confirm that Khan is even more attractive IRL than he is on TV. Like, he is a very beautiful man, and he knows it.
I go full auntie sometimes, and I'm just like, I'm too old for you, but
listen, I get it. I get it.
Let me plant some sugar on you. You know,
it's hard to focus when he's out there, right? And like last night was really cool. So Ashe they streamed. If you haven't seen it, if you're able to, they streamed live last night on their YouTube channel and on their Twitch. It opened. So Khan won the title at the last show. So they opened the show with a Cameroonian celebration because that's where he's from. And it was very cool. Like just they had dancers out there. They had these women who were like putting out flower petals for him, just making him feel like a really big deal. And it was very cool. And then he had a match later on, and he's just very good at what he does and hangs out with Ricochet. And Toa. But Toa Leona's great too. Like I was a huge Gates of Agony fan.
Another GOA. Go.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't say Gates of Agony, apparently. But Gates of Agony ruled. When ROH had 2 tag teams and it was Gates of Agony. Sometimes the Workhorsemen when they were healthy, and it was like a top flight. and the infantry. Like,
and the infantry, yeah.
That was our tag team division had like 4 teams for a long time. So,
yeah.
Please like Gates. So Gates of Agony, at least I'm glad they're on TV because they're really good. But yeah, I'm gonna go over here to some comments before we move on to the next topic. We have some thoughts about Athena, as we should, because Athena is the best, and she needs to be on TV. Yeah. Brad said this Friday's show was much, much better. Oh, I haven't watched the Friday YouTube show yet. I haven't had a chance to check it out. But he said Friday felt more like the Sinclair era of TV. I will have to check that out, especially because my tribal chief tarot reader, Beast Mortos, wrestled Jordan Oliver. So I need to see that.
Seeing more Jordan Oliver.
Yes, please give us more. Brad says that Billy turning at this point on her wouldn't make sense. Billy is cemented as a heel at the moment. Once Shuri is healed, I don't think she's coming back soon. She's in Japan training for Stardom. Okay, well, there goes that theory. Vinny says, good afternoon, Sam and Auntie Collins. STP winning the 6-man belt felt like a moral win for the ROH fans. It felt like a moral win for me and Collins and Kyle and Nikki, for sure. Everybody on the STP agenda.
It's one of those things that I wish that I had a cam on me when I watched that win, because I was, woo, yeah, payoff, yeah, finally.
Finally somebody is listening to us.
Yeah. Oh,
great. Oh, so excited. And then I got to write about it. And then I had to come back down a little bit because they're like, I need you to write about it. And I'm like, let me bask in my moment. I've been saying this since January.
Yeah.
Please put all the titles on them. Let me bask in it. Brad says Mina could have been a good person to beat Athena, but the timing was wrong since it was right before 1,000 days and she's holding that dumb interim title. Yes. And she got injured the day after winning said interim title. And there's not been I haven't heard an update on when Red Velvet's supposed to be back. So how long is Mina going to come defend that interim title, or is she just going to hold it?
We've seen her on TV injured.
Right. I mean, at this rate, you could have just put it on Yuka and been done with it. I don't understand why we don't book Yuka only in just random matches. Like, she's in this tournament, also losing in the first round, probably. Yeah. Who is she wrestling? Is she wrestling Serena?
Yeah, she's wrestling Serena Deeb. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Yuka's going to lose in the first round, which is insane. Mm-hmm. What are you doing? Why are you even putting Yuka in this tournament to have her lose in the first round? Please, but Lord, have her beat Athena. Yuka is incredible. Yeah. Actually, you could, since my queen, Emi Sakura, is coming back on Wednesday, have Emi could defeat Athena, and I would love it.
That would be incredible.
I love Emi so much. Make her stay when she's not doing. She could defend it in Choco Pro. Just let her do it.
That would be perfect.
Yes.
The more we see their Ring of Honor titles on non-Ring of Honor television, that it isn't AEW.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah. Benny says, it's so frustrating. How do they have Trish Adora and not use them to the best of their abilities? They have never used Trish. Even Sinclair was not using Trish to the best of their abilities. I mean, they kind of closed out at the end, and luckily Tony was smart enough to bring her over, but he sure hasn't done anything. And she's like been training in the dojo. Like I think she trained like with Shibata. Like, come on. That alone. Why are you not belting her? Make her female Shibata.
That is, yeah. Make her female Shibata without the, brain being taken out part.
Oh, yeah, that part. Yeah. Please let her keep her brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Brad and Nikki had some of the same thoughts that Diva's frustrating. He wants to care about her since she's a very good technical wrestler, which is his favorite style, and she can get over, but I hate who her significant other is. Yeah, me too. I hate him too. And then Nikki said the same thing. She has a hard time being interested in Diva. She's good, but I can't get into her. Some of it probably has to do with her partner.
A lot of it has to do, for me, with her partner. I want to like her so much. However, you willingly married Marty Scurll after everything.
Right. And like, you don't want to, like, on the one hand, like, you don't want to blame a woman for like her man and the things he does. However, like, you knowingly married him after
all of that.
All of it. And that's a little hard to get past for me as a woman, to see that is who you're like. Listen, I understand that, like, you love who you love, and it's kind of, you can't really, kind of hard. But on the other hand, like, he did some,
he admitted it.
Right.
He's
admitted it, and then like still try to be like, but she was, but his little caveat for everything, instead of taking full responsibility for it. He's admitted to it, but he won't take accountability for it, which I think is one of the bigger issues. And so, yeah, it just feels icky. Especially, it didn't help that back when Strong was still more of a thing, that Rocky Romero tried to book him, and then didn't tell anybody. Then the fans found out and were like, what do you think you're doing? And they had to pull those matches off. So that still tells you that people still have an issue with that. And therefore, like, because people are afraid that he's going to worm his way into AEW if he can get to Rocky Romero.
Still friends. He's still friends with the Young Bucks. Right. He's still friends with Kenny, Christopher Daniels.
Right. He's still friends with them. And so, yeah, their fear is always that they think that the fans are going to forget. And I think that hopefully that kind of taught them, oh, no, they're not going to forget. Like, this isn't happening here. But, yeah, it's just, it feels like, and again, like, so in a way it kind of feels like maybe is Serena being punished for that by the fans. I don't know if punished is the word. It just feels like they can't, and then she's not on TV enough to care about her. Like, I care about her.
Right.
Like, I care about her health. Like, I want her to be healthy. I want her to live a good life and things like that. But like, as far as the wrestling character goes, like, there are more people I am invested in. Like, I would much rather see Trish Adora on my TV than Serena Deeb. I'd much rather see Queen Aminata.
Well, that's
I'd
why
rather see Diana, Taya.
All these apologists for people that have been in the Me Too movement,
right,
men that have been called out.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, they have a right to make money, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Not in wrestling.
Not in wrestling. Like, how hard is that? There are so many other people who haven't done that, who may not have the notoriety or name.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we've moved past that in a society.
I think we've moved past that in 2025 to have the need for Marty Scurll on TV. Like, why? It's 2025. This man's not getting any younger. Not to be ageist or anything, like, but why in 2025 would I want to see Marty Scurll on my TV? He hasn't been on TV in 7 years?
Yeah.
Like, we've moved past the need for him. We have AEW roster is bloated enough as it is. Like, there's enough people who don't get the TV time they deserve. And you want to give that TV time to Marty? Why?
And I don't want to hear this whole thing of like, we should have brought him back for like when All In, like, just because he was on the card, the original All In card.
Right. So in that, because if that's your argument, then they should have brought back Joey Ryan. Joey Ryan was
I forgot about that.
Hangman Adam Page. I didn't see that match with my own eyes. Like I saw it. I had to delete the pictures from my phone when all that came out. I was like, I don't want this man on my phone. I had to delete. Like, and I met Marty. I've met him a couple of times. I had to delete my pictures with Marty. I was like, I don't want that on my phone. I don't want to see that. Like, I don't want to. It's unfortunate because he was always very kind, but that doesn't that doesn't cancel out the things that he did. And so,
right.
And so I was like, no, I don't need that anymore. So I don't need him. If I don't need him on my phone, I definitely don't need him on my TV. Like, yeah, right. But he says there's more than enough villains in wrestling. Take that how you will. Right.
You can be a villain in wrestling, a bad guy in wrestling without being a predator.
Yeah. I mean, what a concept. What a concept.
MJF, biggest example of asshole in real life, asshole in the ring, is not a predator.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're one, you don't have to, you can be one without the other. Like, you can be an asshole. You can just like not do terrible things too. Like, I don't know why. Like, you don't have to. I think,
whenever people come around and they go, oh, it was like this like time period, blah blah, like
hate it. That's how they've excused things for decades. It's the time frame. It was okay then. Was it okay? Or is it just nobody said anything?
I mean, like for myself, I grew up in the fundamentalist Christian church, a very small cult of Christianity, where it was friends of my family who would picket war veterans' funerals and picket Planned Parenthood. And even in my brain, I went, this doesn't add up. Mm-hmm. This doesn't add up.
Does not. We are apparently not learning about the same person.
Right.
Because I grew up Southern Baptist, so I get it. Yeah. Like, I'm like, and now everybody thinks I'm a socialist because I'm like, well, that's what y'all taught me.
I mean, my family has definitely made their comments about me, and I'm like, is empathy?
Do you know what that means?
do you know what it means to be empathetic, but also like not tolerate like abuse?
Right. Right.
Novel concept, you know?
You would think. But then Vinkin makes the point that you can be both and return on SmackDown. Yes, you can. And thank God, once again, that I get paid to watch it, because otherwise I would not. And thankfully, I work for a place who lets me hate it. Because I did. They were like, do you have a hate it? I was like, sure do. Mm-hmm. You want to hear about it? I will tell you why I hate Brock Lesnar on my TV. And I did just that. And then I saw, it's funny, somebody responded to Wrestling Inc.'s tweet, and they were like, you guys think you're on such a moral high road by hating Brock Lesnar. Yes, I do. In fact, I will not.
How much time do you got? Let me list all the ways that I am better than Brock Lesnar.
Right. Let me count the ways. Let me count the ways of how. Let me remind you that case is still being litigated. Nothing's been decided. They brought him back because they wanted to. Like, I need you to understand. I need you people reading this to understand. They brought him back. And then they tried to blame it on John Cena. Oh, he wanted to face him. John Cena was like, no, I didn't. He's like, no, we're not putting that on me. I face whoever they put in front of me. That's it. I don't make requests. So John Cena was like, no, we're not going to pin this on me.
What we're not going to do.
Nah. He's like, I will be a corporate guy and I will be a yes man, but not with this thing. I mean, even though I do still hang out with Vince McMahon and was at his birthday party, I am not taking the fall for Brock Lesnar being back. And even though I publicly said I love Vince McMahon, That I will own, but not the reason that Brock Lesnar. That's too far.
Woo! All right.
He's like, no, that's too far. I'm not taking responsibility for Brock Lesnar. Vince McMahon, that's still my buddy though.
All these people needed to do was never post about it online. Like,
this 80th birthday Drew McIntyre. What you doing there, buddy?
Right. Titus, what are you doing? Like, all you have to do is be like, hey, embargo.
Right.
We're not posting this online.
Like, I mean, on the one hand, like, I'm glad that you did this because now I know where you stand. Like, now I'm glad I know that Drew McIntyre is, I mean, I'm not really a fan of his anyway, but like, you're one of the biggest WWE superstars and you're going to Vince McMahon's 2-night 80th birthday party. Nikki was like, what is this, WrestleMania? Why is his birthday party 2 nights?
I did make a comment though. I was like, if I ever got like an invitation, because I wouldn't, to like a Vince McMahon style of party, I'm going there to steal. I'm going there to take the alcohol. If there's shrimp cocktail, I'm going to take all of that home with me. And I'm going to light something on fire and get the fuck out of there. You know
what? Like, I like that. I'm not posing for
I'm not posing for shit. But arson?
Listen, Hangman can do it. Hangman could burn down Swerve's childhood home. I could burn down this. Listen, this is a joke. We don't take us seriously.
Yeah, I would never do that.
Myself or Collins. If Vince McMahon's going to die in a fire and they're going to confine me and Collins because we were making jokes about his birthday.
Yeah, it's not me.
We're just joking. Gosh. Please don't take us. Please don't report us if something happens to that man.
Yeah, it just reminds me. So one thing about me is I love me some Clay Aiken.
I know you do. It's just great because I look cute.
I love Clay Aiken.
I used to vote for that man. I had to vote for that one. We're from the same state.
Yeah, I love him. And a number of years ago, he had a stalker, and they said the stalker was from Seattle, Washington. And there's no name, no age, no descriptor. And I got sent that article so many times. Like, do you have something to say? And it's like, this is not me. This is not me, I promise. I was living in New York.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
My ID says New York. This ain't me.
That ain't me.
Yeah. But it's just one of those funny things of like, wait a minute. I don't want to be associated with no stalker case, no nothing. If anything, the 2 times that I've met Clay Aiken, I screamed in his face and I cried to the point that I couldn't speak.
That's not stalker behavior, though.
Yeah,
that's a normal response. That's a fangirl response.
Yeah, fangirl, yes. Stalker, no. I don't want to see where you live.
No.
I just want to give you my cute drawings.
Right.
And bracelets. Like
a normal. Not trying to stalk you. That's so
that's so creepy.
Yeah, so I mean, I know it's because we are of sound mind, but like,
don't show up at airports. Don't show up at their hotels.
No.
You know who was staying at my hotel, by the way?
Who?
For All In? Gabe Kidd. And you know why? Because that man is so fucking loud when he speaks. And I was my hotel room was on the first floor. It was like the first room.
Oh God.
And I could hear him speaking over the ice machine that was next to my room.
That sounds very on brand for Gabe Kidd.
So I'm just hearing this guy talk like this. That's a really bad accent. And the bar area was over there. And he's like ordering food. He's like has his entourage. And I like came out. And I was like, fucking Gabe Kidd is staying at my hotel right now.
That's so funny.
What the fuck?
I know Gabe staying at my hotel because he's being loud at the ice maker.
Yeah. But yeah, that's
great.
That's how the Gabe kid. And then I told one of my friends, and that's how they got into Ring of Honor. And I took a nap.
Oh, there you go.
So
there you go.
I was sad. I was sad to miss Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I bet you were.
For Supercard, but
yeah.
I had a red eye going into that because my flight got delayed. I was supposed to fly.
Right. I remember you had like travel horror issues.
Travel there and travel back.
Yeah, it was a nightmare.
But I had to get on. They rescheduled me for the red eye. Was on the red eye. Was delayed on the tarmac. And then I had to like run to get my car, and then I couldn't check into the hotel. So then I had to go find like Kylie and everyone else, and it was like figuring out, am I getting in for media?
Right.
For Supercard? Nobody was answering me.
Yeah, and then like nobody got in for media, right, for Supercard, or they didn't. They didn't do a scrum afterwards. Isn't that what it? Or was that what it was? Or they didn't do? Yeah. I guess because All In had such a really call time or something. So they didn't do
it.
Things.
It was one of those things. I was waiting at my phone and falling asleep, and I said, "You know what? Fuck it." Texting people. Sorry, I'm not going to be available tonight. Sorry, I'm going to take a nap.
Hey, you do what you got to do.
And
especially because All In was going to be such a long day. On top of that.
I did not know that our call in to the area, the media area, was 11 a.m.
Yuck. Oh no.
We didn't leave till like midnight-ish.
Yeah.
So yeah,
not a good time.
Go to an AEW show. Sleep before.
Right.
Sleep when you die.
Apparently that's what they wanted you to do that weekend.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I did want to go back to this comment because we were obviously going off in different tangents, but USBA guy said there's a lot of things that TK is trying to do with Shuri. Unfortunately for him, Shuri has a limited time period that she has to be used, that she can be used in America. TK needs to build his own talent, but he is failing. I would disagree with the latter. I understand your feelings. I know that you're a New Japan person, and I get it, and I'm not going to fault you for that because I also love the New Japan, but I disagree with that.
I don't know how visas work, but from what I know about my experience, because I spent a semester in the UK when I was in college. And when they say it is for 6 weeks, it is only for 6 weeks.
Right.
And I was so scared shitless. I was like hearing other people being like, oh, we're going to go over here and go to this consulate and extend it and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm too scared shitless to overstay my visa. But I don't know how working visas work. I've never done that before.
Right.
But from what I've gathered is really someone has to sponsor you in order, like a company has to sponsor you and it's for an X amount of time.
Right. And then she also came here to have surgery, or she had surgery while she was here because she was injured coming into the thing. So that also obviously put her on the shelf, and there was that made things weird. So yeah, I don't know how much time they're going to have with Shuri. Yeah, Crash says Shuri's been injured, so not sure where AEW has the opportunity to do anything with her, right? And why they brought her in when they did, knowing she was, because it sounded like she was injured prior to All Out, and I'm sorry, All In. So, yeah, I don't. Yeah, she would. Yeah, Benkin says she went and injured against Sari. Yeah, that whole thing is really confusing with the visa, how long she's available, and also surgery. So I think mainly they brought her in because that is Athena's dream match. She has said that for years. The one person she wants to face is Shuri, and I think Tony was trying to deliver, and then she was injured. I'm wondering if maybe they had already had it worked out for her to come here. I think that was the Death Before Dishonor match. I think she was supposed to face Shuri there, but she was injured at some point prior to All In, and then needed surgery, and that kind of messed things up. And so I don't know if she gets this dream, like if she gets cleared, gets the dream match, goes back to Stardom, or she just goes back to Stardom, and then maybe next year they try. Because that match doesn't have to be for a title. Like
right.
It's a dream match. Like it doesn't have to be for anything. It could just be because it's Athena has worked her ass off for 3 years. Let's give her the one match she wants. I mean, that's how we got Zach and Nigel McGuinness. Nigel wanted that. That was a dream match for Nigel. It was a dream match for Zach. Tony's like, all right, I can make this happen. We'll do it in London. We have a show. Ghetto can book Zach. I will make Nigel available to have this match. We can do it. It's fine. So they can do the same thing yes, granted that was for the IWGP title, but you don't have to make Athena hold that title. Tony, don't do that. Don't make Athena hold the title till next year just to give her a dream match with Shuri. Don't do that.
Well, I mean, I really liked that match, but I'm also a mark for Nigel McGuinness and a mark for Zack Sabre Jr.
I love that. Yeah, see, I missed Nigel wrestling. Like I missed all of it because I was not watching ROH or didn't have access. And I feel like if I did have that, like I think I would have been a really big Nigel fan. But I love Zach. Zach is one of my favorites ever. I love him. Mm-hmm. I love that style of wrestling. So that match for me, like I loved it. That match did not have to be for a title, and I would not have cared. I would have been super invested in the match regardless. I loved it. Brad says that they were running a story when Shuri lost that she was leaving Stardom for the time to find herself again and train in America and finally get her elbow taken care of. And then it's a long had injury. And then Crash says it seemed to be she seemed to be an opponent for Athena since there's no one else, but agree to the extent ROH has a problem creating legit babyface competition. Yeah, for ROH creating competition, like I will agree with USVA guy there that Tony can't create talent. He can't create stars in ROH. On AEW, I would say maybe a little bit different. But the ROH side of things, I will give you that. Because I watched Collins and I watched it. We know.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was incredible. Yeah. USA is unreal. He was incredible in the G1. Takeshita was incredible in the G1. Oh, I was going to ask, I did have this question before we move completely off the Athena thing. I thought so. I tweeted about her, breaking the record, and John LaRocca quote tweeted it with this question. And John LaRocca has booked wrestling promotions before. Mm-hmm. I often do not agree with John's opinions. I respect him. I don't know him well. I tend to, especially when it comes to AEW, I tend to disagree with him a lot on all the things that he likes and doesn't like, which, to each their own. And obviously he looks at it differently because he does have a booker mentality. He made the comment, and I thought this was really interesting. And I wanted to ask you, and then I'm sure our lovely viewers will probably also weigh in on this. And let me pull up what he said. And I should have had this bookmarked, but I did not, apparently. But he said something along the lines of, let me see if I can find it. Hold on, because I want to read what he said. Because I would love to get your opinion on it. So he said, oh wait, that's my article. That's not the one he commented on. Where is the tweet? It's this one. Okay, so John says, no, I don't want to quote tweet my own. I'm trying to read my quotes. Okay, he said, Athena should have beaten either Tony or Mercedes to make this run be a truly historic one. She could have a Bruno Sammartino linked ROH women's title reign, but now to their fan base, AEW's fan base, she is not seen on the level as Tony and Mercedes. Do you agree with that or no?
Why would she not be on the same wavelength?
He thinks that Athena is not on Tony or Mercedes level because she could not be either one of them.
But why would she face them if she wasn't on their level?
Right.
That's what I'm seeing. My biggest issue with the Tony match was how she lost the match, but you could see in the match toes for toes with Tony. You could see in her match with Mercedes, especially during the tournament, she was going toes for toes with Mercedes. Why would she not be on the same level? Why would Tony feed someone who's not on that same level to that person?
To both of them. She wrestled Mercedes. Correct. She actually even wrestled Mercedes in the Owen. Wait, no, that was Willow. She wrestled on the Owen and lost too because that was her one sanction. So I take that back. That was Willow that she lost the technique. That's how they got the ROH because it was the ROH sanctioned matches is where she's 70-0. That's how they got away with letting her lose the AEW match was because it wasn't sanctioned by ROH. I disagree with that too. When I read that, I was annoyed, and then I was like, "Why is this annoying me?" And I think it's because certain people don't see Athena a certain way because she's on ROH television, which is unfair.
It is unfair.
My argument before Will came to AEW, you paid to watch Will Ospreay wrestle. You subscribe to New Japan to watch him wrestle. How is that any different than subscribing to ROH to watch Athena? It's the same exact thing.
It's the same thing.
What are you doing? And I feel like, and like
looking at Athena, by the way, like all of the wins that she's had, the people that because she did wrestle Mercedes in the Owen Hart, right?
I think that was this year, right? I think.
Correct. That was this year. The people that she's won against, Thunder Rosa, who also is a former champion. Mm-hmm. She's defeated Alex Windsor, who they're trying to build up to be at that level, right?
Yeah.
She teamed with Billy Starks to beat Alex Windsor and Toni Storm. Mm-hmm. How is she not on the same level?
And then as her champion, like I was going back through like some of her wins the other day, she has beaten. She beat Mina Shirakawa, who is technically a champion. She's an interim champion. Mm-hmm. She has beaten Miya Yamashita. She's beaten Yuka Sakazaki. She has beaten Willow on multiple occasions. Like, your girl is good. Like, I don't. And then one of the biggest things I saw when she lost that match to Tony, I saw so many people say, I hope she's still going to be on AEW television. Like, they were A, frustrated that she didn't win, and B, they were like, well, then I hope she's still going to be on AEW television. I still want to see her because they like her. So I don't think that people, I don't know, the part of the fan base that I see like Athena, they love her. I don't see at least in my experience, in my timeline, I don't see anybody saying she's not good enough to wrestle them. She's not. So I don't know where he's talking about in their fan base. I feel like the AEW fan base really likes Athena. Some of them are they love her. Right. The pop she got at, I mean, yes, she was in her home state, but the pop she got at All In was insanely loud on TV.
Yeah. So, I mean, being in the stadium, I've never been in a wrestling show with that many people before.
Right.
It felt vibrating.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I was levitating.
Yeah. And again, I guess you could argue, well, that's her home state. She's going to get a big pop. Well, she better be getting a big pop in her home state, but I feel like Athena gets big pops everywhere she goes, especially in AEW.
A couple weeks before All In, it was in Washington State. The mention of Athena, big pop.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry.
Right. Yeah, I completely. So that's how I was like, I have my opinion, but I was like, let me bring this question to the people because are we on the? I feel like we're going to be on the same. I mean, and not that all of our viewers always agree on the same thing, but I was like, and our viewers maybe they will tend to agree with me because they like a lot of the same things. But you know, I'm gonna ask them, and so I make beats that I just agree. I would put Athena up there, and that's coming from someone who doesn't watch ROH Weekly. Your man is capping. Crash says Athena's probably a better wrestler than the three, but in terms of promos, not so. Oh no, Tony blows everybody out of the water with the promos. So maybe not as well rounded or Hollywood. Then yes, she hasn't had the same level of exposure either. I mean, if you put it in that way, yes, but saying that the fans don't see her as being on the same level and Mercedes and Tony, I think is incorrect.
That's
cool.
And
like Brad said, she pinned Tony, and Collins brought this up as well. She pinned Tony in a tag match, so she's beaten her, just not for the title. And Crash is a better wrestler, and that I enjoy watching Athena a lot more. That's just my personal opinion. I like her looks, her moveset, and her attitude. Yes, Vicken, she's beaten everyone except Tony and Mercedes, so apparently it doesn't matter. She's beat everybody but them, so you can't beat your champions. You're not good enough, I guess, is what he's getting at, or he thinks fans think. I make these that all three women have totally different backstories and accolades to put them in this category, but they all deserve their place, so I would say Athena is. Maria says, there must be some heat between Athena and Tony that we will find out much later because Athena should be on TV a whole lot more. I don't think there's any heat between them. He said multiple times that he worked very closely with Athena and Billy and at times Lexi to tell the story that they were telling in ROH. And then once she kind of hit like the last year, the story has really fallen off. And part of it, I think, is because Athena was injured for a little bit. I think that was going into later last year. Coming into this year, she'd been injured a little bit, and then he just kind of backed off and never picked back up. So hopefully there's not anything. But yeah, because it's funny. When Athena lost that match, a friend texted me and said, why does Tony hate her? It's like, I don't think Tony hates her. I think because he wouldn't do what he's doing with her in ROH.
Right. I'm going to trust it for now.
Yeah. I think with Athena's story in ROH, there's a little bit of goodwill that they have earned there, mostly on Athena's end. Tony, not so much, just because of his history of booking women. But yeah. And, Maria says that fans would feel that she was more on the same level as Timeless and Mercedes if she was on TV a whole lot more than she is, which I guess that's a fair point for the AEW fan base in particular who don't watch Ring of Honor. They would feel that way, but I do feel like she's very well liked. But to say that she's not, fans don't see her on the same level because she didn't beat them, I don't think that's true for the most part. I'm sure there are some fans who think that, but I don't think that's the overall majority. But Tony could fix this by putting her on TV, keeping her on TV.
I also look at like Shop AEW to see who are the movers and shakers, what things are on their front page or whatever. Athena's shirt, her newest shirt, is up there on one of the top selling ones. So
somebody's buying them.
Right. I think that Tony's also like, he takes into account, like, are you a shaker, a mover and shaker when it comes to merch sales? Because they put that into account. Tony's got a lot of things out there. Megan Bain's got a lot of things out there. Athena's got a lot of things. Chris, Willow.
Right.
Those are the shirts. Those are the signs that you see. So
sounds like a lot of women who are moving some merch.
Which I love seeing it.
We do. Brad says, I appreciate Tony having her on ROH and allow her to do her thing there. Would fans want her as much as they do without her time there? I don't think so. That said, she should have been on TV long ago. I mean, you can make the argument that, that Tony should have put her on TV a long time ago, which, I'm all for that. But that doesn't discount, and I know that's not what Brad's saying, but that doesn't discount the work that she has done for 2.5 years. That's just she's done incredible work. She has centered that division. She made that for a long time. She was the reason to turn into Honor Club every single week because she was, and for a while there, when she wasn't having matches, she was doing backstage segments where she's building up her story. She's building up Billy. She's building up Lexi. I mean, Lexi's great on her own, and you see, like, she did some really incredible stuff with Dalton Castle when Dalton Castle was a sad peacock and was struggling when he Lexi is incredible, but like to get a backstage announcer to a point where she's involved in the biggest women's storyline in ROH, that a lot of that credit is that goes to Athena. Athena did that. Mm-hmm. Like, so I feel like, and yes, and again, a lot of that is because it's on Honor Club, but like you can't discredit Athena's work because of where she's at. Like, I don't feel like that's fair. That's not Athena's fault. And would she have done the same thing on AEW television? I'd hope so, because I think she's very charismatic. She's a fun character. She can back it up with her skills in the ring. And maybe she's not the best promo, but good Lord, it's not like I've heard way worse than her. And if that is her, that's something that they can work with her on, because what she does in the ring, she can hang with anybody. No one else
can really do. Yeah.
No. I would like to see some of the men get in there and try to wrestle with Athena. If Jamie hits hard, then let me see them get in the ring with Athena.
Top 5: Wheeler Yuta, Wheeler Yuta, Wheeler Yuta, Wheeler Yuta, and Wheeler Yuta.
Wheeler Yuta, they will never make me hate you. They will never make me hate Wheeler Yuta. That is precious little. It's so funny watching him as this character, because he was doing some stuff at my local promotion, like right before he got pulled. It was right around the time he joined Blackpool Combat Club, and everybody was like, they're like, oh, I don't know about him. He's kind of boring. And I'm like, just wait. I mean, did I know he was going to be like this? No, not quite. But like, yeah, he's so funny. So we tried to talk to him a little bit around the time of him joining Blackpool Combat Club, and he was very shy, didn't have a lot. You could just tell it's kind of didn't have a lot to say, as in like, I'm too good. I'm with William Regal now. Like, it wasn't that. It was just like he felt like he wasn't. Just felt like he was a person who you have to get him to warm up before you meet him. But they will never make me hate Wheeler Yuta. I love precious little Wheeler Yuta. Y'all can boo him out of Philly all you want.
I'm gonna boo him. I'm gonna. Yeah.
That's okay. That's his job. But I'm not gonna boo him. His job isn't working on me. I will not. But yes. So speaking of what we were gonna start out the show with, and it's okay. We don't have to go in order here. Because we did talk about All In, which now leads us to All Out, which is 2 weeks from yesterday. All Out got moved. It was originally announced for 7 p.m. And then for another company who thinks they aren't competition, they are counter booking like crazy and decided to bring back an old ECW title, which also, as I mentioned a few weeks ago, First Wrestling had also been running the show using the name WrestlePalooza for years. And then all of a sudden, WWE is like, you know what would be a great time to bring back the name of an old ECW pay-per-view is on September 20th for no particular reason at all.
No reason at all. There's nothing going on in Philadelphia right now for the next couple weeks.
No, none of that. Why would you know what, John Cena and Brock Lesnar, let's not wait till SummerSlam. Let's put you on a random pay-per-view in September. For no particular reason.
Is it actually is it actually being, it is being booked as a pay-per-view because it's going to be on ESPN Plus, right?
Yes, it is. They moved it up early. It wasn't supposed to be on ESPN yet, and just by some mere coincidence, they moved it to ESPN early. That wasn't supposed to start for quite a while. And they're like, you know what? For no particular reason, we're going to put it on ESPN early. And then AEW announces, hey, we're going to have our first pay-per-view on HBO Max. Funny how
Which smart.
Yeah. And so and not only is it available on HBO Max, you can watch it on Amazon Prime. You can go to ppv.com. You can order it through Triller. All these multiple ways to watch this pay-per-view. And now also, it's going to be at 3 p.m. instead of 7 p.m. Actually, it was going to be 8. The main show was going to be at 8. Then they were going to do they're calling it the Tailgate Brawl, which was going to be 7 to 8. So it would be on at the same time as WrestlePalooza. And then, they were like, you know what? Scratch that. Tailgate will be at 2 p.m. Show will be at 3 p.m.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, okay. And apparently part of this was, from what Dave Meltzer says, part of this was because Forbidden Door did so well at an earlier time that they decided to move this up. But as my friend Bruce, who lives in Hawaii, said, I will be eating breakfast when this is on.
Yeah, so that's also the thing of like, yes, 3 p.m. sounds fantastic for y'all. That's noon for us.
Right. Which means for Hawaii,
it is breakfast
like,
time.
Right.
And I don't mind that. Like it's never been like an issue for me, especially when they had the London shows and it's like 8 a.m. for me. And I'm like, cool, great. Get to do like a fancy breakfast, be lazy, and then I have the rest of the day. Unfortunately, I can't watch it because that's when my best friend is getting married.
Oh, well,
so
you could be like Tony Khan and be like, I've never missed an ROH show. Let's move it up a week so I can attend MJF's wedding, because that was the wedding. And yeah, I was looking at, like, I had heard, like, Friday night I saw a picture that somebody had gotten from somewhere, and they were like, oh, MJF wasn't here this well on Dynamite because he was getting married. And then I was looking, and then I saw Amanda Huber posted a picture. It was in her story. It was her and Ty Conti and Queen Aminata. And I was like, oh, it must have been MJF's wedding. And then I was like, yesterday, I was like, wait a minute. That's the wedding. So, like, we've talked about it before. Like, so Dave Meltzer said Tony Khan moved up Death Before Dishonor up a week because he had a wedding to attend on the 5th. And he's never missed an ROH or AEW show, and basically he's not starting now. And I was like, you mean Athena could have wrestled? So Athena didn't get to wrestle on day 1,000 of her title reign because of MJF. MJF and Alicia had to go get married. Of
all the days, and like, granted, I don't know how far in advance this wedding was. Right. Like, I already know that. Well, I guess I knew that they were engaged, but it's because I know people.
Right.
But it's the fact that it's like, we knew at least enough to know the time in which, you know what I mean? Like, what could have been, should have been. Mm-hmm. And it's not like Tony Khan could be like, actually, for Athena, can you move it? Because I don't know what was going on in either of their lives.
Right, of course, yeah.
You know?
Is it that big of a deal that she wrestled on day 993? No, not really. But it would have been really cool if Athena could have defended her title on the 1,000th day of
would have been cool.
Instead of just going into day 999, wrestling Diami in a 2-minute proving ground match to get win number 70 on day 999.
And that's on Tony Khan. Like, that's on Tony Khan.
That is on Tony Khan. He could not have, I mean, he could have put that proving ground on any time, and then just her match with Mina would have been number 70. Like, what? But Brad makes a good point that it's before the Jewish holidays and things like weddings get complicated during the holidays. That makes sense. Mess up a whole entire pay-per-view, but you know.
Listen, I got married on WrestleMania weekend, so
hey, listen, they deserve that.
So I had a lot of people being like, I can come for like a little bit, and then I was like, it's fine, I don't care, I'm gonna have a good time.
Right. We'll watch tonight for WrestleMania.
We watched night 2 with my in-laws, which was interesting.
Yeah. I think it's at WrestleMania.
Whoa, WrestleMania.
Yeah,
But
so that is a go ahead.
yeah. I was just gonna say for All Out, we already have 7 matches. We're 2 weeks away.
Yeah, that's
I
pretty
mean,
incredible.
I'm excited because
excited.
who's on the cover on the stay? I see clearly.
Yeah, I was gonna say your boy.
It's my boy.
Your boy, Adam Copeland.
I got his figure there. I got Pop over here. Like I got my other figures over there. I am forever meme face crying Adam Copeland girl. Like
Listen,
that's just who I am.
listen, Ms. Girl is forever. So
Yeah.
why not just add you into that?
Listen, I actually watched Wrestle Dream 2023 the other day, and I'm in like a. They obviously didn't pan to my face particularly, but they panned to our section because I was in the section like in the middle of the ring, so I can see like the top of my shirt like during the whole show.
Mm-hmm.
But they kind of pan to our section, and you just see me just like. The entire time. It's fine.
Fine.
But am I excited that Cope and Christian Cage are together? Yes.
CNC, as they are calling them.
The CNC, which it took me a little bit. The hamster wheel got stuck a little bit. But versus FTR.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pass away.
What you're saying is they booked this for you?
Yeah, they really did. So obviously, like Adam Copeland and Christian Cage have to win here, right? Or
yeah, you can't lose in Toronto. Like, you can't.
We have a trios match of the Hurt Syndicate and Ricochet versus
GOA.
Mm-hmm. Mercedes versus Riho got built. Moxley versus Darby in a coffin match.
Do you think Darby's going to win that? You think he's going to put John Moxley in a coffin? And if so, is that the end of the Death Riders? Or do you think John Moxley is the one who puts him in a coffin and he keeps doing what he's doing?
I'm confused here because last night John Moxley said, there's nothing you can take. There's nothing that you can do that would hurt me. And
you're leaving Renee right there for something to happen to her.
Renee in a body bag.
Right. That feels like that's. I was like, sir, what are you saying? I mean, I guess he didn't specifically say his wife because he doesn't want to make her a target, but like, she's married to you, she's a target. She works for the company you work for. Like, he can just come up on a Wednesday, put her in a body bag, and bring her on Sunday. Like,
right. Like, can we just like leave kids alone too? But like, here's the thing. Darby's not a bad guy.
Right.
So like, is it a bad guy thing to
I mean, if Hangman did nothing wrong by burning down Swerve's house, then I assume, but that's a bit different than taking somebody's spouse, especially when it's a spouse that is so beloved. Like, most people.
That is true.
Most people would also pick, like, if you're picking between Renee and Mox, most people are going to pick Renee.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It's
not like a Karen Jarrett kind of situation.
No, not at all. This is a like, if I have to choose, I'm taking Renee. Like,
yeah.
And I say that as somebody who loves John Moxley.
Yeah.
But, like,
so
Renee.
I get like why they have a coffin match.
Yeah.
It's the fact that like on the same card, they also have a match with a stipulation that we don't know yet for MJF and Mark Briscoe.
Is that match official? That's not official yet, is it?
It is official.
Is MJF versus Okay.
Because MJF's said for Mark Briscoe to pick the stipulation.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Right. that did happen. And then we saw MJF not go on his honeymoon. Interfere in Mark Briscoe's match last night in the main event. And you have Alicia tweeting, "It's fine, I didn't want to go on my honeymoon yet anyway."
I just want to know, is it a layover? Like, what's going on?
Right.
Like,
and then you have MJF say something. He tweeted something like, "Revenge doesn't wait," or what did he say? A honeymoon doesn't, or something about a revenge doesn't, like basically a honeymoon can't stop revenge is basically what he was getting at. I can't remember the exact way he phrased it. Good luck with that, Alicia, because now MJF is going to put revenge against Mark Briscoe ahead of your wedding.
If my husband postponed going on our honeymoon to get revenge, I would be a single person. Like there would be no like marriage. It would be annulled. You want to go play with your friend? I'll go on this vacation by myself.
Right.
I'm sending annulment papers. You are insane.
Well, right. This marriage has not even 24 hours old, and you are going
ain't even dry. Come on.
You are going right. Even though Hangman told you when you sign that contract, he will beat your ass before the contract is dry. Well, Alicia might be beating your ass before the contract is dry from your wedding 24 hours before when you went. Like,
exactly.
What is happening here? And then we did get an official so we have two matches on this, women's matches on this pay-per-view. Yay. Mm-hmm. And two women's matches this week on Dynamite, coming up on Dynamite this week. Two. Woo! It's our quarterly, like once a quarter, we get two women's matches on Dynamite.
Yeah.
We're late into the quarter for for this one, but we're getting it in. Mm-hmm. We're getting two women's matches
finally
on Dynamite because Riho came back and she's getting a title shot against Mercedes, which I have no problem with. Like,
right?
Give her, it's Riho. Like, she's over. Like, anytime she's on TV, she's immediately over. Like,
yeah,
she hasn't been on TV. They hinted at the story 18 months ago. Mm-hmm. There was a backstage segment. Mercedes introduces herself to Riho. Riho is a former AEW. She's the first AEW Women's Champion. And Mercedes was like, "I would like to beat you. Let's do it at All Out. You haven't been here in 18 months. You get a title match. I don't care. It's Riho. Give her whatever she wants. I don't care.
Give her what she wants. Right.
I don't care. You don't have to have a build for her. It's Riho," which they technically do from 18 months ago. So this week on Dynamite, we're getting Mercedes called up Riho's trainer, the person who taught her how to wrestle, Emi Sakura, and was like, "Hey, can you come back to America to come tag with me against Riho?"
Yeah.
And Alex Windsor, and please, like,
you gotta say it,
Windsor, can you please come help me? And so Emmy tweeted about it today. She's so funny. I love her for multiple reasons. But she tweeted earlier today, and she said, "Thank you, Tony Khan, for this chance to celebrate my 30th anniversary in wrestling. You've made these past few years very adventurous and fun. I've been beating up Riho since she was a little brat. It'll be fun teaching her a lesson or two again. TBS Chep sounds good for my 30th anniversary as well."
Oh my God. I love it. Everything about it.
Emmy's the best. She's so good. And so we're getting that. And then we're getting Timeless Tony after the match last night. Cuts a promo and talks about just Tony things. Starts to run away. Runs back to the camera. Any of you triangle bitches want to bleed or something like that? Let's have a Philly street fight on Wednesday, and it's Sky Blue. The match was the graphic put up. Sky Blue will be having a Philly street match with Tony Storm.
I am so into it. Hell yes.
Yeah. I'm here for. I was like, thank you, Tony. Not only are you booking 2 women's matches on one show that's not a pay-per-view, they're amazing matches, and you brought Emi Sakura back to me, who I love so much, and I have missed.
Tony saying, and I wrote it in my notes. I'm a woman in search of her murderer. Kill, ladies, kill. So we're gonna see blood.
Absolutely.
So blood.
You have to.
So murder. Okay. I'll be seated. Can't wait till Wednesday.
And then so we have so Mercedes. I mean, Tony also, because she is so dominant as a champion, can just make pay-per-view matches. After the match, she pointed. There's so many women out there. She points at Chris Statlander. She points at Jamie Hayter, and she points at Tekla, and she says, I want all of you to face me for my title in Toronto.
I just love that she's going a little psycho crazy, being a little bit careless.
Yeah.
I love it.
Do you think this is where Tony loses her title? Does she lose her title in a 4-way? Because you don't have to get pinned to lose your title. Do they end Tony's reign like that? Do they have her not? Do they not have her get pinned, or do they have her get pinned and this is where she loses it in a 4-way? Do you think they book this as a 4-way because Tony's going to lose her title?
See, I think by the time Tony loses her title, because when Tony lost her title to Mariah May, it was to build up beating Mariah May, the ultimate love story, the Hollywood ending. Right. So now that we are in this Hollywood era, the more timeless, more Tony.
Right.
Who would I see? Is Tekla up there yet? No. Is Alex Windsor up there yet? No. Could Wheeler Yuta help Chris Statlander win? Yes.
I had not considered that, but he was out there lurking. Well, he's obviously been lurking around Chris because they used to train together,
right?
And so at Creative Pro, they trained together. He was out there last night. Everybody was banned from ringside. I guess they meant women. They didn't specify.
Yeah, they didn't specify. Even though they were yelling at him, and he was like, "I'll leave. I'm going."
And she wouldn't even look at him. And then she was like, "Get away from me." And then you see him. It was funny because you see him back into the crowd, but like then they cut back to the ring so the match can start. So you didn't see him actually leave. So I thought he was going to come interfere last night because you never really saw him leave. He was heading in that direction.
Right.
But he's clearly been hanging around for a reason. That could not get her money that she won. And John Moxley went and roughed up the Young Bucks and got her money.
Yeah.
He keeps kind of her hanging around. Last night, we saw like Daniel Garcia was sitting in the floor, obviously after he in the match he got put on the floor. Marina was the one to help him up. And then somebody has made a point that Yuta, with his long hair, hair is always in front of his eyes. But when he talks, somebody made the point that when he talks to Chris, you can see his eyes. He always looks at her in the eyes. He doesn't hide behind his hair like he does when he's with Marina or the rest of the Death Riders. But with Chris, every time he speaks to her, he looks her directly in the eyes. So there's clearly been something they've been building to here. Do you think if she wins the title, she joins the Death Riders?
Well, because in this 4-way, Jamie Hayter and Tekla are fumbling with each other, right? They are obviously going to take each other out,
right,
in this match,
right.
So it leaves Chris Statlander open. I think something's going to happen.
Okay.
If Chris doesn't win, Tony wins. There's going to be some sort of turn, some sort of split, some sort of something. And I'm ready for it. I'm ready for Chris Statlander to be dominant. Because have they fully done the Willow? And I know that they've teased them together, but wouldn't Willow be a good first opponent?
Yes. And they also like, I need Chris to have a storyline that isn't you hurt my feelings.
Right.
like we've done this to death. Like I need you to have something more substantial. So like when Death Rider started sniffing around her, people were like, oh, I don't want her to be in Death Riders. I was like, if it gives her something to do, then please put her in the Death Riders. Like I don't hate it. But then
I don't hate
also if she goes to the Death Riders, does she bring Harley with her? Because Harley clearly has no fear of John Moxley. We saw it in the video where she's hanging on Chris, leans backwards, and John Moxley is looking down at her like, "What? Who is this creature? Why does she not fear me?" When Chris Statler does fear him. We've seen it. She shook when she dropped her phone and he picked it up. Her hands were shaking. She clearly fears John Moxley. Harley has no fear of anybody, apparently. But Brad makes a good point. Chris cements herself as a heel by beating up Harley. Because, I mean, I don't know how you make Harley a heel.
I don't know either, because everybody loves her so much.
Right.
So much. So.
Right. No, Tony does not need that belt. It's time to get the belt off of her. I've been saying this for a while, that, and I say this as somebody who is a huge fan of Timeless Tony, but that belt has been with her the better part, either or has revolved around her for the better part of 2 years. You've got to get that title away from her. I mean, and I say that as somebody who loves her very much. But Tony is not a person who needs the belt to be successful, to get fans to love her. John Moxley even said, like the other day, he was like, "What? I had belts and I lost it. You can, that happens. It's just the belt." Like what he said, that's just a small measurement of somebody's success. Is holding a title just because I don't have the title. Like, and I think a lot of people would argue that the Death Rider story has been better since he doesn't have the title, because he's still going after these young wrestlers to bring out the very best in them, which we have seen him do. And like last night, like he and Daniel Garcia did not have to go out there and go as hard as they did last night on Collision. Yet they did. They just had this banger. So Timeless Tony is in that same category as John Moxley. She doesn't need the title to be successful.
Agreed.
However, I still believe that Toni Storm deserves to have a main event, a pay-per-view main event. And if assuming this 4-way is not going to be that main event, like I feel like if any woman has deserved a main event match for a pay-per-view, it's Toni. But does she have to have the title in order to do it? I mean, I guess that's what all your main events are usually for a title. So,
I mean, unfortunately, for the women, that's really the only way Toni sees you as worth that main card.
Well, the title, right. So you would have to. So, and they didn't do it with, I mean, people are like, first of all, this was all on Toni. Like, we didn't have to wait till year 6 and still not have, like, you've had 6 years to put a woman Toni in a main event. Like, this is on you, bro. Like, you have the book. Like, as you say all the time, all final decisions come through me. So it is you who has not put the women in a main event match. These women have been telling stories. Like, the Hollywood ending was right there. and people try to be like, oh, well, Mariah was leaving, so they didn't. I don't care.
Nobody cares.
The fact that story was built for that. Toni's still there, still award her. And the main event we got made that pay-per-view would have been a 10 out of 10 all-timer. That main event was terrible. And then we got the rematch. And then on Wednesday, we got the redo. That was way better. But Toni and Mariah should have gotten that spot. They didn't. Mercedes should have main evented. Toni and Mercedes, I mean, I know it was all out and you have some of the biggest matches, but a triple main event does not, I mean, yes, it's great, but also like Tony and Mercedes should have main evented. Tony and Athena should have main evented. So are you telling me, and this is not a diss at Chris Statlander, are you going to take that title off Tony and then give Chris the first women's main event for a pay-per-view after all of the things that Tony has done for you? I mean, unless they just give it to Mercedes, which, again, I'm not against Mercedes having it either. And again, that's not a knock at Chris Statlander, but like Tony has carried she is the biggest star in your company.
Right.
Can you give her a main event match before she drops the title? So
there are other people from other companies saying their dream matches are against Toni Storm.
They sure are. Put her in a main event. So that, yeah, I mean, maybe they main event this at All Out, but I don't think they are. I mean, maybe.
I just want to know when we're getting the women's Blood and Guts, because that's what I thought that we were building up to.
Well, that will be its own show. Blood and Guts is its own. It's been its own TV show now. It's not a pay-per-view match. It's a Dynamite. I think it's coming. I think it comes after All Out, because originally I had Chris in that match. But if Chris wins that title, I don't know that Chris will be in the match. You can't risk your champion getting injured in a Blood and Guts match. I mean, granted, obviously she can get injured anytime, but that's been his reason. Oh, we have too many people get injured so much in Blood and Guts. That's why we haven't done it for the women yet. Poor women. We can't have them getting injured. Well, then at some point, you're gonna have to
put them in a street fight. Why not?
Yeah. So I do think a Blood and Guts is coming. I think it's coming. I wonder if it'll be after Homecoming. Because that's coming up in October. It's a month from today, actually. I feel like maybe it's after that, but I do think we're getting one. I think it's coming, but I think they were like, we got to do our other matches first. We have to do this.
I guess we want to get through other matches. That's fine.
Right. We also had, it was Wrestling Inc. is doing a thing right now where we're doing like early like awards just to see kind of like where people stand now. And that Hollywood ending match was on a lot of people's list as match of the year. Should have been in the main event, Tony Khan. I'm just saying. Should have been there. Yeah. Oh, I wanted to come back to this comment. Well, Nikki said she can still be timeless Tony without the title. She'll be fine. I mean, she did. She left and went on excursion and wrestled with Mina behind Tony's back. Behind Mariah's back. But Fernando brings up a good point that he thinks Orange Cassidy is the friend Yuta was talking about on Dynamite to Chris, which would make sense.
Orange Cassidy!
Right. That makes a ton of sense because they all have history. There was a faction. They didn't want Yuta. It was Trent who did not want. He didn't want Yuta in that faction. He got mad. And it was Orange and Chris were in that faction. Danhausen was sort of it too. Orange Cassidy has been rumored to have been ready to go for a while. They're trying to figure out how do you bring him back? Do you bring him back in the Death Rider storyline? But if Chris is Death Riders adjacent, you could. Fernando,
I like it when things are aligned like that.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's a very good point. Crash says that therein lies the problem with Athena when ROH title becomes a bit of an albatross. I don't think her winning 2 of the world titles will do any good, especially with non-belts Monet doing her thing. Well, but see, that's the thing. Mercedes is hinting that that's the title she wants. I don't know if that's just because they're just trying to have it out there as a possibility, because that is her thing. She's a belt collector. She needs 11 to surpass Ultimo Dragon. You could get to number 10. I don't like this theory, but we talked about it last week. for 9 and 10, you could have her beat Athena and Tony Storm.
Ah!
And she has 11 titles, but then 3 titles are on one woman. And I don't think it would be if they went that route. I don't think that they will.
This is how the world blows up.
This is if they did that. I don't think she'd hold. I don't think she'd hold those titles very long. However, I still maintain she holds the TBS championship at least until Wrestle Dream. Wrestle Dream is 510 days. I will make she'll be champion for 510 days. That's 2 days longer than Jade Cargill. That's clearly where we're going. Tony wants Jade to surpass. He wants Mercedes to surpass Jade. That's obviously what we're doing here.
That's crazy.
So he definitely wants that. I think that's where he's going here. But I mean, I don't think he would actually have Athena and Tony drop titles to Mercedes, but it would also make sense in the storyline, just for not the practicality of you have 3 of your titles on one woman, not in that, but like storyline for what she's trying to accomplish to make her the most successful belt collector of all time. She would take that should mean she takes the ROH and the AEW women's championships to solidify herself as the best. If she's so good, she has all your titles. She'll come for that interim TV title too, and that pure title. She'll come for all of them.
She'll come for everything.
Again, logistically, it doesn't make sense as far as you're wrapping up all these titles in one woman. But for a belt collector, you could do that. But speaking of, so last night at Ashe, they crowned the first ever women's champion, Charity King. Phenomenal. I love Charity. I am a huge fan of hers. I'm so glad she won the title. Apparently, Nyla Rose quote tweeted her winning and tagged Mercedes in it. I was like, she hasn't even had this title 24 hours yet. Nyla, what are you doing? And Ashe quote tweeted it, and they were like, no, snitch tagging is crazy.
Snitch tagging. Oh my God.
I was like, Charity's, she's literally like when you tweeted that she's had that title for 12 hours. Like, woke up to you telling Mercedes has not responded with the side eyes yet, or at least what I thought, but I'm sure it's coming.
That is crazy. Yeah, that Charity King with her thick ass thighs. Ooh.
Right?
Ooh.
Love her. She's incredible. And she's so sweet. I got to interview her at Ashe's second show, and she came up to me like we had been friends for years. And
I love that.
She and Danny, I interviewed her tag team partner, Danny B, and they were just the sweetest, and they will kick your ass in the ring. I love them. I'm a huge fan of the King Bees, huge fan of Charity. I was so happy for her last night. But if this somehow leads to Mercedes Moné coming to Ashe,
simply pass away. That's,
right.
That's
I did see though. Ashe said if Miss Rose or Mercedes wants to come to Ashe, we can make it happen. And Nyla responded with a GIF that said "Say less." So this ends up with Nyla coming. I will maybe not be so mad at it. But Nikki says she saw Charity quote tweet it, and she's like, "Oh, I quote tweeted it too." That it's not even been 24 hours. And so Vinkin says Mercedes is lucky there's no women's trios or tag belts. Listen, the tag belts are coming. They've been made. He sure is setting up teams like a tag titles are coming. But listen, Mercedes will find a way to win them if she can. Ray says there will come a day when WWE will move a show start time after AEW backs down and moves first. TK, bet on yourself and believe in your product. A lot of us do. You put on good pay-per-views. I get this, and this is not at Ray Ray's in general. I saw some of the other comments. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like him moving the show up is caving to WWE?
No, I think he knows how long his goddamn shows are. And so unfortunately, Tony Khan is really good at answering questions in media scrums but he will answer one question and it'll take 17 minutes.
Literally, the ROH call, the media call that I missed because I was at a vet appointment with my cat. He spent, according to John Alba, since 16 minutes and 38 seconds answering a question about Deonna Purrazzo, which also answered the Pure. So he kind of answered two questions in one. He just wasn't asked about it. But like, yeah, the man will talk. He likes to talk. He's a yapper.
He loves to talk. So if there is an opportunity for him to be like, okay, what's best for business or financial success? I mean, starting All In early, and we were still there until midnight, gives him the opportunity to have those special moments, have those interactions. I like an afternoon. Theoretically, since I'm not physically at the show, I'm not in the media area, obviously, but it's still at the same time of, it's a long day. It's going to be a long day for all those involved.
Yep. Yes.
And he likes to talk. So I'm not saying that he did it so that he can talk more. I think that he went, okay, what is better for business? Getting people in and out of, and I do have to say, it is easier to get out of stadiums and arenas and venues when there's a little bit of light outside. For some reason, the moment that it's dark and everyone's cranky and people are sobering up and they're driving cars, they don't know how to drive.
Right.
Ubers don't know how to do anything.
No.
So I don't think that it's bad for business. And I don't think that they're caving. I think, in my opinion, WWE is doing their best to scrape whatever fans are on the fence. And AEW is going, fine, you want to play that game? We're not necessarily caving, but we're catering to what makes sense for us.
Yeah, I kind of like, I get both arguments. I do see how, because I was like, oh, why is he moving? And I kind of, go straight up head to head. But I was talking to a friend who was going to the show, and he was like, I'm glad it's earlier because then I don't have to get home at midnight. It was like, he's like, for me, it's great. I like that it's an earlier show.
Yep.
But then I saw somebody else who was like, ooh, I'm glad I booked my flight to come in the day before and not the day of, because that would have been a problem. So like, I think maybe if it wasn't a 2 weeks notice, then maybe like if you announce ahead, but of course, every time they announce something, WWE is like, hey girl, look at us.
I think that they're going to do that.
Hey, look, we have Brock Lesnar. Don't you want to watch that? Who in 2025 wants to watch Brock Lesnar?
I'm just saying, I think we've solidified that WWE fans are fans of WWE, not necessarily because they like wrestling, but because they like that kind of product.
Right.
Fans in AEW like wrestling because it is the alternative. It is a little bit of something for everyone. You might not like the blood, but you might like the technical. You might like lucha. You might like the women's wrestling. You might like more hard-hitting matches, more comedy matches. One pay-per-view has it all and more.
Right.
And it pays off storyline-wise.
Right.
They're not just focused on 2 or 3 storylines and everything else is secondary. Although sometimes that feels like that with the tag division, but that's neither here nor there. However, if you've been watching, if you've been paying attention, they more than likely pay off. And they're in their good groove. The less that they talk about WWE, the better they are.
Which I think that a lot of the reason the product has been so successful as of late is because Tony is focusing on his product. He's not focusing. He is not booking to counterbook WWE. He is
because
booking
they're not
what his fans like. Right. He's looking what his fans are paying for. He's building, like you said, he's paying off storylines, or he's adding to he's extending a storyline in some cases. He is booking for his fans. And sure, there are some fans who may be on the fence. And if watching Brock Lesnar get winded walking down a ramp and F5ing John Cena in his final days of his career is for you, then Tony's not going to be able to book anything to make you want to watch.
Yeah.
Like if that's what you want to see. And yeah, now they're like, okay, well maybe Brock Lesnar is not the selling point that we think it is. Let's bring back AJ Lee. She hasn't,
and you know what?
In 10
Good
years.
for her.
Right. She hasn't wrestled in 10 years. Fans have been asking for her to come back. Her husband, we made wrestle in Saudi Arabia. We've been doing these things with her husband. We're doing these things with her husband. Now, September of 2025, for no particular reason, let's bring back AJ Lee.
You know,
no reason whatsoever. I mean, but the thing is, we're using women at the expense of men. This is probably going to be a tag team match. It's going to probably be AJ and CM Punk versus Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. Becky Lynch is suddenly in this storyline. People are like, oh, don't you see that it's copying the Death Riders? First of all, to me, the Vision is just another faction. Like I don't see the similarities, even though I have a friend, and I think other people were calling it, they call them the Seth Riders, which I think is hilarious.
The Seth Riders?
Which I think is but like, I mean, somebody did post the video of Becky slapping CM Punk around, showed the video of Marina. It almost looks slap for slap like she did the Hangman Page. Like, what is that? So maybe there is a little bit there, but regardless, like we just suddenly have Becky in the storyline, and now we're gonna bring back AJ Lee for no reason whatsoever, just the random September day.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
some fans of women's wrestling are gonna be like, you know what? I want to watch AJ Lee tag with her husband against Becky Lynch and her husband.
I think that's the part that sucks. Is like, for me, I came back into wrestling. If you know my story, you know my story. I came back into wrestling because of Total Divas. So I was watching Nikki, Brie, Natalia, tuning in when I could to WWE product. But for the most part, I'm watching a reality show. Right?
Right.
And I started watching it and getting more involved, and then watching the Give Divas a Chance movement. And I really gravitated towards the Bellas, Paige, the girls that are on the show. And I didn't really connect with AJ Lee, mostly because like she was already on the way out.
Right.
But it is okay if you didn't watch any of that to acknowledge this is exciting for a pioneer of women's wrestling. While it's not like, if I search my Twitter account at that time, who was I talking about? Nikki Bella. I was obsessed with, I've been obsessed with Nikki Bella for so long. And just because I didn't talk about AJ Lee, or I haven't talked about, this wrestler, it doesn't mean that it's not something that I can be excited about. I don't watch that product. So it's like, in hindsight, I'm like, it sucks because like I don't watch, WWE anymore. But you still can acknowledge and be like, hey, I'm really excited that we're bringing back someone in wrestling who I thought was done.
Yeah, which is a huge deal. Like we've seen it. We saw it with Paige / Soraya. We saw it with Adam Copeland, Bryan Danielson. So for me, I was never really an AJ Lee fan. Just didn't connect with her for whatever reason. And then like some of it was storyline. It was dumb stuff where she was like always trying to get a man, because that's what we do in WWE. Women, that's what women do. But I just never was really a big fan of hers. So it does not move me in the way that it moves some fans. But for her to be able to come back to wrestling 10 years after thinking she could never wrestle again, that's a huge accomplishment. And for that, like, good for her, good for her fans. I'm happy for them. It's not my cup of, it's not for me. If I, clearly I'm an AEW fan, but like seeing her back, it would not be reason enough for me to be like, I'm not watching All Out. For some people, it will be, and good for them. I'm sorry that they're using AJ as a ploy to make you like they don't care. That's the thing, they don't care about AJ. They're using her as a marketing tactic. She is a PR piece to get you to watch. Which, I mean, on the one hand, good for her. She's getting paid. Especially after she is one of the she called out Stephanie McMahon on Twitter years ago and said, "Hey, the women don't get paid anything. Like we don't get the same pay." And Stephanie's like, "Oh, we hear you. Yay. Okay, we're gonna, as I created women's wrestling in WWE, let's fix this." And then she was gone not long after. So for her to get the bag from them after that, like, good for her.
Right.
And I'm sure not to say that she can only get that thing because of her husband, but I'm sure it does not hurt that her husband is one of the current top stars. If that, get your bag, especially after the way they treated you. They fired your husband on his wedding day.
On his wedding day.
That's
also another thing.
They FedExed him papers. And I get it, because you're like, oh, why would you go back to that? There's, as I say all the time, there's two in the US, there are two major companies where you can get paid well and be on TV, and it's AEW and WWE. And so sometimes, yes, it does make you hypocrite, but sometimes you got fired from one company for putting your hands on somebody. So your only option is to go back to
them
the
out.
company that fired you on your wedding day, made you sick.
Yeah.
Or you go back to the company that you once said didn't pay women well, but I hope you're getting the bag. I hope you're getting the bag, because
that was always my biggest issue with CM Punk, is that he spent a majority of, and I don't know if it's like kayfabe or whatever, but he spent a majority of his time in AEW being like, this other company made me work sick to the point that I, whatever.
Right.
And it is known that he shit his pants in the ring.
Yep.
Like,
because
working
of the Z-Pack.
with a Z-Pack, which, like, okay, I would be mad.
Yeah.
Like, working for a place that made me work and I shit my pants. Like, I get it. But, like, the entire character that he built in AEW was like, a 2-for-1, buy one, get one free main event at WrestleMania. That was his dream.
Yeah. And he got it.
And he got it.
But then he had to wrestle in Saudi to get it. It was very much, hey, you can wrestle, you can main event, you can finally main event WrestleMania, but we're going to make you wrestle in Saudi Arabia too. So and you have to pretend you did not tweet what you tweeted about the Miz.
Right. To the Miz. Which, like, where were you when you saw that tweet? Because I remember where I was, and I remember it was shared in our, like, group chats, and I was like, holy shit. I don't like that CM Punk guy, but that's a good tweet.
He was good at Twitter when he tweeted, even though I'm convinced he's got a burner probably and reads what everybody says. But
yeah.
But yeah.
What a good time. What a good time.
What a time, yes. And then Brad says that Windsor isn't getting her opportunities because of Will, that like WWE is doing. All they've done is acknowledge that they're a couple. Yeah, they aren't building her. Well, and see, Crush is not saying that at all about Will and Windsor. I think they're explicitly stating that they're wrestlers who are couples, or kind of tying their hands a little. It's unusual. I mean, I think they're just fans aren't dumb. Like,
right.
Like, we saw Hangman Page was at MJF's wedding on Friday.
What?
There's a picture of like all the wrestlers that were at the wedding.
Cardboard
all
copy.
in one big group picture. Hangman Page is right there. I mean, he's not like standing next to him, but he's there. Hangman Page was at his wedding. Like, I think they know, yes, there's kayfabe and keeping. There is a thing about keeping kayfabe.
I mean, he's in the back.
But, like, yeah, right. He is in the back. But, like, we're not stupid. These are people. Like, they're gonna hang out a lot of times. If you're not gonna hide anything, like, that usually your friend ends up being like your better opponent. So that's probably part of the reason of Hangman and MJF have good matches, is because they are friends in real life, or at least friends enough to go to maybe he's friends with Alicia. Maybe he was going to Sephora.
Yeah, we'll say
maybe
that.
It's nothing to do with MJF.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Vinkin, I saw that too. And Collins actually pointed this out. When AJ Lee, Triple H did his normal pointing picture, post the tweet with AJ, you can always come back home. Collins had the same question you had, Vinkin. We know who that was targeted to.
We know who that's targeted to. And she is not coming back home at any time. There's nothing that is making her come there. And I have a theory that Bayley comes to AEW.
I think that's happening too. When is Pamela's contract up? Do we know?
2026. So
it is next year. Speaking of contracts that are coming up soon, AJ Styles, it came out this weekend. He posted a little graphic of a time, not a what about for the time turner, of a hourglass.
Hourglass, yeah. I forgot the name too.
I was like, this is a Harry Potter. Also, fuck that lady. But regardless, it was there, and it's an hourglass, and it's AJ's logo in it. Then it was reported that his contract is reportedly up in February. So Royal Rumble season, he will be there. WrestleMania season, maybe not so much. A certain British wrestler loves using a Styles Clash in his matches. He is friends with Adam Cole and the Young Bucks. Kenny Omega was in Bullet Club with them. They kicked him out, and Kenny took his place. Maybe a certain Georgian named AJ would like revenge on that 10 years later.
Absolutely. And I'm sure that him and Samoa Joe would want to kick it. He could easily join the Ops.
Samoa Joe probably wants to know how Wendy's doing.
Oh, Wendy!
Oh my God, that storyline,
unfinished
so
business.
God,
Absolutely, that storyline. So, I mean, I feel like I treasure 2017 and 2018 wrestling as a whole, a little different than other people. It's the time that I met my husband. You were, whatevering. But it was like one of those things of like, oh, I like this. Do you like this? Oh, okay. But that summer, I really think that Samoa Joe should have taken that main title, because obviously we know how Samoa Joe is. But should have happened. Didn't happen. Could happen here.
Yeah.
Why not?
Right.
Why not?
Samoa Joe is one of the best on the mic.
If not the best.
Take my money.
Eddie Kingston, Samoa Joe.
Love
to God.
Them. Love them. Yeah, the Fitkin says Bayley might have to scoop up Dakota and go hang out with Mercedes. Yeah, so that, we know who that was. That they were. That was a shot.
It's obvious. Come on.
That was and as I said to Collins, though, Mercedes is already home. She had a home. She upgraded her home to that was better suited for her current needs. This home provides her the flexibility to travel and be in other companies.
True.
And it provides her enough space to hold all of her shiny belts. This new home, she outgrew her old home. She doesn't need that home anymore. It was good to her. It was the home for her at the time, but she's grown past that. She does not need to downsize her home and return.
I have a theory.
What
So
is that?
remember when there was that whole thing of they left, they were crying on the floor, her and Bailey crying on the floor, tantrum, blah, blah. I have a feeling that someone backstage at WWE fed that too.
Oh, 100%.
And I feel like
Probably.
100% it was Triple H.
I was gonna say a man.
A man. A man with 3 letters as their name.
Yeah.
That is my opinion. That is not fact.
Right.
There are no.
No, I think a lot of people share that opinion.
And I love how they've been tongue in cheek about it. I love how they've made fun of it in different ways, because it is easy for non-women's wrestling fans to be like, yeah, they're being emotional on the floor crying, blah, blah. But those women?
Right. Seems a little suspect to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that definitely was and he used another, this is what they do. They play women against each other. He used the post about a woman who hasn't been there in 10 years to say it to a woman they want back because she has
all the belts.
I mean, you might as well said, come get another belt. Like, you might as well just dangled, hey, your friend Naomi came back and she vacated the title. Do you want it? Like, you could have, like, you're using, AJ hasn't been there for 10 years and you're like, hey, let's make a shot. Let's send a tweet to Mercedes and tell her to come home. Yeah. I mean, using women for personal and financial gain? WWE? Surely not. No, they would never. They would never stoop that low to leak things about their own talent to make them look bad and then have people go on TV and saying that they were disrespectful and just walked out and left their, walked out of the building before their match and screwed over the women they were supposed to wrestle that night because they walked out, and all the awful things that they said about implications they made about Mercedes and Sasha. I mean, Mercedes and Naomi. And they would never do something like that. But so Amen. Oh, and I guess it's not official, but talking about the matches, we are potentially, I'm assuming it's going to be made official after Dynamite. What are your thoughts on them doing Kyle Fletcher versus Hangman Page? Apparently, I guess it would not be title for title. I guess it's for the world title because Kyle kept talking about how in 2 weeks he was going to have 2 titles. Wasn't going to take him 3 years. So I'm guessing he's not putting the TNT championship on the line. I'm guessing this is not.
And why are we not? Why are we not? You know, because like Dustin had it for like a blip little second, right? But he defended that title every opportunity he got, more than he did the other titles in ROH that he had.
Right. Right.
Like, how come that's what happens with the TNT title? Is that we forget that we have shows on TNT and TBS.
Right.
And we don't defend that.
Right.
Come on.
It's just, and see, when this happened on Wednesday, I couldn't figure out because when all the, he clearly takes out Kenny and he goes after Hangman. And I was like, well, they don't typically do title for title. I thought they're trying to, because back when the TNT title was first created, it was supposed to be it's supposed to be equal to the world title. And for a little bit it was, especially when Cody had it, when Mr. Brody Lee had it. That title was up there. And then at some point it became a title. Didn't mean anything. The United title, the championship that Okada has, or Unified rather, is supposed to also be on the same level as the world title, but they are not currently booking it that way, other than it's on one of the greatest wrestlers of all time in Kazuchika Okada. But like, so I thought, okay, that's what we're doing here. We're establishing Kyle and the title as being as important as Hangman and his title. Then Kyle Fletcher comes out last night and was like, hey, buddy, 2 titles sure would look nice on my one on each shoulder. I worked very hard on my body. Let me put a title on each shoulder.
You know, I do have to say, because I did recently rewatch Wrestle Dream 2023, and Kyle Fletcher is so baby.
Love him.
That wasn't even a full 2 years, and Kyle Fletcher looks so different now. And it is because he has that star power now. He's that
a huge star. That man will be world champion within 18 to 24 months.
Absolutely.
Easily.
The next 5 years in AEW is going to be torch passing season.
Yeah. Kyle is that guy, which is incredible because when Aussie Open signed, they were a top 5 tag team. Mm-hmm. Their tag team division desperately needs an Aussie Open if Mark Davis could stay healthy. But on the other hand, like Kyle is this superstar. Like you can't hold him back. Mm-hmm. Not that I'm not saying Mark Davis holds him back, but like you can't hold him back in the tag division when you can clearly make this guy a star. You can do a lot of things with him. I think the match will be a banger. I think he and Hangman might end up stealing the whole damn show. Like this is gonna be. We thought like, and I am a huge fan of Takeshita. So I mean, yes, with Takeshita too. I meant Hiramu, Hiramu Takahashi. I was thinking with Takahashi, and it came out Takeshita. Hiramu Takahashi, huge fan of him. I love that match. That match was a banger. Kyle has been on an incredible run, and so he and Hangman are going to tear it down. But I don't really like Hangman's second title defense being against another champion. Like, why are we not building up someone to come after Hangman who is not a champion? Like, that's the thing I don't like about it. Is like, I think yes, you should establish Kyle as being equal to Hangman, but I don't think you have to do it by having a title. Him trying to take, because Hangman's not going to lose that title.
Right.
Like, that's not happening.
Right.
And so like, yes, this match is clearly to establish Kyle, but I don't think you have to do it at a pay-per-view for a title. Like, I don't think you have to do that. Yeah. But I think it's just because they have to get Hangman on the card and they haven't built anybody up, I guess. And so they're like, you know what? We'll just have him wrestle Kyle Fletcher. Because who doesn't want to see that? I mean, I do. And I think Brad says he's okay with Fletcher versus Hangman, mainly because they're so top empty with Omega, Will, and Swerve all going down together, but that also elevates Kyle. He looks like a world killer this week. Yeah, I mean, sure, but I mean, Takeshita's right there. And you have other people that you can, like, Orange Cassidy's on his way back. I mean, I know he's not here now, so you need a title match, but like Eddie Kingston is apparently on the way back. I don't think that Darby is somebody who could. I don't see Darby as the guy that you put your belt. Can you put the TNT championship on him? He's the unified champion on him? Sure. Yeah. I don't see, to me, he is not a guy that you make the face of your company with your world title. I just don't see that. For me, that's just, I've never seen him as that person. But like, and so like Brad makes a good point, but also like, they're so stacked. Like, obviously Jay White is gone. We talked about this last week. Mm-hmm. You need to start pushing Juice Robinson then, because Juice Robinson can go. Juice Robinson's a former champion. Juice Robinson can he be a Hangman Page? Not at this point, but you can still build him up and elevate him. You've got Ace Austin now, who they seem to be hinting.
Another thick-thighed man.
Giving Randy Orton a run for his money.
I mean, he basically looks like 2009 Randy Orton right now.
I mean, so. Fair. But like, and you could they seem to be hinting at Ace Austin joining Juice and Colt.
Right.
Austin, rather, because Colton is the one that's injured. Like they have that. So, I mean, I get it, but also I don't like it. I don't necessarily like that Hangman's very second title defense. Like, you have him beat MJF and then he's going to turn around and defend his title against another champion. I'm not a big fan. Love it, but the match is good.
I mean, what we were talking, 2 years ago about the pillars of AEW, MJF, Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin, Jungle Jack Perry.
Who is also on his way back.
Eventually, we'll get there. I think the clear evident forefront person was MJF. He was being prime plucked and propositioned for that that main title. But out of the other three, Sammy Guevara is not up at that tier. Sorry. I don't know if he'll ever be there. I think he will. He's a great tag team wrestler. He's a great person to have in your faction, a bad guy faction. I love heel Sammy Guevara. But out of Jungle Jack and Darby's specific, this was also my issue, like when Jeff Hardy was the WWE champion, is that it's not a believable kind of thing, because you know what they're wanting to put their body through, and that you can't have like a defending champion always going through a sheet of glass. Diving off a ladder.
Said the hell you can.
You know what I mean? Like the way that Darby Allin wrestles is not fighting champion. It is last resort.
Fighting for my life.
Right. Fighting for my life. This could all be over right now. And if that's what you want.
A coffin match against Jon Moxley is for you, not a title match.
Yeah, that's not. So, but like, see, that's what we were thinking of match without honor kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
How Kyle was mentioning that, like, a lot of match without honors were last match in your series of matches. Like, this is the thing that culminates to the end, right?
Right.
Darby Allin wrestles match without honor in every match.
This is true.
And I was always worried when he's in this match with Sting, because I'm like, I don't want Sting to get involved in this. That man didn't listen. He was jumping off things. He was going through tables. He was popping up, doing all the things. Sting, the Stinger, come on. You're old man.
They had to talk Hiroshi Tanahashi out of jumping off of a ladder at Forbidden Door. When Kota Ibushi is the voice of reason, there is a problem.
Kota Ibushi, man who has put fireworks up against his chest with those Roman candles.
Right. He's telling you not to jump off of a ladder. Yeah. There's a problem and you need to listen. So it's kind of like Sting and Darby. Like Tana was trying to be Sting in that match. And Kota was like not willing to be the Darby Allin for him. He was like, I'm not encouraging this. You need to get down. But yeah, the match will be great, assuming it happens. I just not thrilled that it's for the title, but I know it's going to be a banger and I'm going to love it. And I'm assuming they're waiting till after the grudge match to make it official, because he's got a Hangman is wrestling Josh Alexander in a grudge match because they have a history together. Nikki was saying, that she was just saying to a friend that Darby's matches feel the same. I know a lot of wrestlers kind of do, but change it up a bit. Crash says, where in the hell is Kota? He looked great against Okada a few weeks ago. I assume he's back in Japan doing. Maybe he needs to be like Kenny, where he needs some time after big matches to like regenerate ankles.
Yeah. Let's simmer down. These men have like broken certain things. I know how I am, and I've tore my Achilles tendon. I have bad ankles. When the sky and barometric pressure change, I'm like, okay, I need a day off, and I'm not even a professional athlete.
Right. Like, well, that's why I'm so surprised that Darby, like, when he came down from Mount Everest, because I'm like, he's at like one of the highest altitudes you can get.
Right.
He's gonna come back down. Like, get used to being at a. I know that Washington has a higher altitude than a lot of places.
Yeah,
but still, I figured you need to come back down to earth. You need to get used to being on not a mountain. Most, I think, normal people. I was like, I would not bring this van back until winter is coming. And then he's like, you know what? I would like to hang out in the rafters and jump on Claudio from above. And now I would like to be in a cage match. I would like to be in a lights out match. And then I would like to be in a coffin match, please. And Tony's just like,
sure, why not? Here's some money.
Or at this point, it was probably Tony's idea. He's like, hey, you know what? Do you feel like being in a coffin match? Because we're going up against the other company. John Moxley is a big deal. Can we put you in a coffin? Oh, Brad's correct. Coda is probably keeping Kenny company in Japan. He's carrying Kenny's baby after all. I heard that there was a joke about that a few weeks ago that Coda was going to be pregnant with Kenny's baby.
Honestly, can I tell you though? I've said this about a lot of men. When they come back from injury or whatever, I always say, "Oh, he's getting primed baby ready," because he looks so hot. Every time a wrestler has come back from injury, they come back thicker. They come back stronger, and I'm like, I'm gonna put a baby in that guy. If I was their partner, I'm gonna put a baby in you.
Clearly, what is happening with Coda and Kenny?
Exactly.
Clearly,
put a baby in him.
That man loves him some Kota Ibushi.
Honestly, we love it too. So
yeah, I mean, who doesn't? I love them both. Fernando says Fletcher reminds me of HBK when he was on his own for the first time. Somebody's reminds me of a tweet I saw. Somebody said that if he wins both titles, he should do the infamous HBK picture.
With all
Listen,
I mean,
that man has worked to make his body look good for if he wanted to do a photo shoot.
I mean, he was taking pictures in a weird closet for a while.
Yeah, he was.
And I was like, "Are you in your panties, sir? What do you do? What is this posing closet?"
Yeah, he's posing the camera, and you can see Sky Blue's sitting in the floor. Are you done? Can we go now? Are you done taking photos of yourself? She's sitting. You can see her in one of the pictures. You can see her sitting on the floor, and she's on her phone. She's
on her. Because honestly,
we can't. Sorry, we're gonna be late to dinner because Kyle is taking 1,000 photos of himself.
Honestly, every time my husband goes, can we go to the video game section? And I'm just like, okay.
That's Sky Blue when Kyle Fletcher wants to take pictures. Oh, Brad says, I saw a clip of it. He said, PSA, watch AEW if you haven't already. It's amazing with Alex Winza. And I did see a clip that RJ posted, and they are giving, I guess, pay-per-view titles, and she has to say something sexual about it, what it would mean. And I saw about All Out, and holy shit. What she said about that. So I can only imagine how insane the rest of that episode is going to be.
Listen, AEW lately has been on fire.
I am so behind on AEW. I need to get back on it because I love it.
I was rolling on the floor, laughing my ass off, LOMAFO or whatever the heck that is, at the Megan Bain, Penelope Ford episode, because every question that RJ asked Megan Bain, she took the AEW mug and smashed it on the ground. And she never broke character, which I thought was hilarious. But after a couple, you're just like, oh my God. And I'm just watching how she's throwing it, and I'm like, she's getting better at this as time keeps going.
That's great.
But it was
My
great.
favorite one is probably the one with Eddie Kingston, because he doesn't grasp it was early in AEW's days and he did not grasp the concept of AEW, and surly Eddie Kingston is hilarious trying to understand this, trying not to kill RJ City. RJ trying his best to like get under his skin, which he succeeded at. It was great.
Did you ever watch the Meal in a Match or whatever?
Wait, did we go back and watch? Yes, I think we did go back and watch that.
There was that first episode was with Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
And it's just like RJ City trying so hard to get Eddie Kingston to like him. And he's just like, what, Renee? Like, I'm doing this as a favor. Like, what is this guy?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Eddie will gladly put RJ City in a body bag.
Absolutely.
Is he though? Fernando said, "Do you think turning heel is a good idea?" Is
I don't. No,
I don't think so. I don't think he's turning heel. I think he's clearly, as Samoa Joe said, like, you have the right to feel the way you feel. You were injured and we needed somebody, and it's Shibata. Like, who's gonna tell Shibata no? Not me. So I don't know that I would say the Hook is a heel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Husband is trying to communicate at the same time. I'm listening.
Okay. We're going to be wrapping it up very shortly, I promise.
Yeah.
I have one more thing to talk about before we go, because we have found Dalton Castle. Apparently,
he's been found.
We had the one vignette 2 months ago of him in ROH. Never saw him. Has not come out at either pay-per-view. But last night, the Outrunners, who were hanging out in Brother Nature, found Dalton. First, they found the boys.
Yeah.
Then they found Dalton Castle, and they did the handshake, and they did the Dalton, you son of a bitch thing. Like, they did all of it, and so now it seems like they found Dalton something to do. And I didn't know that I needed Dalton the Outrunners, but I think I do need Dalton the Outrunners.
It is the metaverse to coordinate them both. So I'm into it. I'm hoping that Dalton is coming back fully healed, because I know for a while he was working through some injuries. And
back injuries are very tricky. So that's what I thought. Maybe I was like, did he get injured again?
Did he re-injured? Yeah, that's what it was. But and let me tell you, as someone who has spent a good part of this year trying to figure out my back injury, it's not fun. It's not fun. But I'm hoping that Dalton gets more airtime. He's the comedy piece, I think, that we've been missing.
Yeah.
So
right. For sure. I feel like, hopefully, as was said over here in the comments, that hopefully this means Dalton gets more airtime.
Amen.
Dalton is a treasure, and he needs to be, especially if he can wrestle, but even if he can't wrestle, like, the man's character is enough to find a way to put him on TV, because he is incredible. You know what? I think I do remember this. Now, Brad says that Dalton joined the Outrunners on ROH a few times prior to his injuries. I had forgotten about that.
It's the metaverse. It's the ROH verse.
Yes. Nikki said, I recognize the peacock sound, but I couldn't place it. And she said she's thrilled for Dalton and the Outrunners. I am thrilled for it too. I hope this turns out well. I hope that, like you said, Dalton is fully healthy and we can get this, because we need him so much.
Okay, so if y'all pray or y'all want to give good vibes, my sister-in-law is in labor.
Congratulations! We will send all of the good vibes to them.
Yes, send all the good vibes. So I'm gonna have another little niece.
Yeah, congratulations! We just had a baby. We just had a baby baby Sicko last week, who is now
Baby
part of the Power
Sicko.
Bombshells, was now a part of the Power Bombshells family. My
Love
friend
it.
Matthew is a new dad, and so yay! Congratulations!
All right, I'm
That's
so excited.
exciting.
They already have one child. His name is Severio, and he
Ooh.
is the best little boy ever. Spent part of my vacation this year hanging out with this 18-month-old going on, 12-year-old. So smart. He's so smart. Always wants to like hang out, be funny, be silly.
Oh, cute.
Loves me. So,
well, of course. Why wouldn't he? And
Auntie's silly. So.
Is he excited about having a sibling?
Yes, he's very excited. From what I know, he's going to be a very good big brother. So.
Oh, good. Yay. I'm excited for that. And so I think we have come to the end of the show. I don't think we have. We talked about any and everything. And as you can see, Collins and I could go on forever about all of the things.
Almost 3 hours.
Almost 3 hours. And with our topics, I'm like, hey, this is what we're going to talk about. And then we did. We just talked in depth and then talked about some other stuff, which is really how this show goes. But you can follow Collins on social media. I think on Instagram, are you _there as well?
Everything else is everything except Blue Sky is _queer auntie. If you want to follow me on Twitch, I haven't done anything on Twitch for a while. Maybe I'll do something later tonight. I don't know. Question mark. But _queer auntie is where you can find me. I've been hanging out more on Blue Sky because it's kind of positive.
I'm trying to hang out more on Blue Sky for those very reasons. So,
follow me anywhere, Blue Sky, queer auntie BSKY, whatever, that's social, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm also on TikTok, meandering around, doing little silly little videos. So
they're fun.
Want to follow me? I usually follow back. So
yes, and then also, do you have something else you would like to promote, or not yet? They can just follow your social media to find out.
You can follow my social media. Soon will be a new podcast that is not wrestling related. It is called Peak Millennial Podcast. So if you are a millennial, we'll be talking about all nostalgia things. I'm very excited because it's a person that is my co-host is not in the wrestling sphere. I actually know from high school.
Oh, wow.
Went to high school together.
Awesome.
And they went, hey, I want to do a podcast with you because it seems so fun. And I said, okay. And we're going to do more of a traditional podcast sense. So it's going to be audio. There will be video. On that first episode, I think we're going to try to do something a little bit more interactive. I did put some polls up on my Instagram.
You did, and I participated in them.
Yeah. So if you like interacting on Instagram, go ahead, follow me there because and you can follow us on Instagram. I think it's just Peak Millennial Pod, maybe. But it's all on my Instagram. So
yeah. So definitely go check that out because that's going to be a ton of fun. And I love the topics. And even the questions that you were asking the other day with the polls, I was like, oh, this is great.
Okay.
This is right up my alley.
Like, of all the folders, green is science, right?
I'm pretty sure green was my science. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Because for me, I'm like my family. So we just use a lot of like same colors, but I always remember like choosing like that green color for my folder for science.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was mine too.
And I'm pretty sure blue was math because it's math. But then I'm like, oh, what did other people choose for things? So you want to be in the polls, inputting it, and we're also going to be finding.
What is that thing called? Because I saw you ask the question and I couldn't remember what it was called, but it's the thing.
Oh, the S?
Like the big, no, not the S.
Oh,
the
big
parachute.
Colorful,
the parachute.
We call them the parachute. It's the parachute.
Yeah, because you asked that and I was like, what did we call it? And I guess it is the parachute. And that's what I was trying to think. I was like, what did we call it? My brain was trying to travel back to town to remember what it was called.
I first heard it as like under the circus. Tent.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, is it under the circus tent? I don't know.
Maybe so.
We'll talk about it.
Yes, we'll talk about it. So Thank you. There's lots of love for you, Collins. They want you to come
But
back when you
keep
have
laughing.
time. she's
That's
a
so
big
nice.
fan of that. Brad, also, yes, you are. She is. They are they are a wonderful honorary broad. Nikki says she thinks that she is red for math. She might have changed it up.
See, that's also a good one. Yeah.
Yellow for science. See, yeah. So we all did not. I guess those of us in the general age range. That's what we did. And then there's questions about if you use a trapper keeper. Did yours have a zipper on it?
Yeah. I remember mine had a zipper.
Questions. I had a trapper. I think I had both. I know I absolutely had trapper keepers, but I do think I also, once I got into like maybe junior high or high school, I did have a zipper because there were so many damn papers that I had to have a zipper to keep everything in my, and because I had my pins in there and like everything that I needed was right in my, like, if I didn't have that, then like I was screwed because like everything was in that, like all my schoolwork, all my papers, all my notes, my pen, everything was in that zippered thing. Yeah. So what we are saying is if this speaks to you, please go check out Peak Millennial because this is on board. This is on brand for you. And with that, I say that I thank you again for your time and your opinions and coming to hang out with us. You are welcome back anytime. And we hope that you all have a good week. We will be back here next week. Who knows, knock on wood, what kind of things are going to happen in the wrestling industry. And then we're getting closer to All Out. And so, yeah, we will talk to you more next week. Bye.